All right. Hello, guys. Hello. You guys should be looking at that. You guys should be looking at the rest of this stuff. How you guys? How you guys doing? We're here with the driest collab of all time. 13 hours of just nitty gritty. No, just kidding. I'm joined today with Alpin. Hello, everybody. Hello, Fiddy. Thank you for being first. Hello, Apop. Hello, anyone else who might be waiting around reads. Alpin, fitness guy.
Yo.
How you doing?
Yeah, that's me. What's up, gamers?
Hello. We're still waiting for a couple of
my
people
name's
to.
Alpin.
Yep.
Good to meet you.
We're so good at this. There is a minor disclaimer. We're not gonna say or do anything sacrilegious today. But when scheduling this, I forgot today was a holiday. So happy Good Friday, everybody. Today's Good Friday, my good sir. Today's Easter, the start of Easter.
Oh, why is it good?
I don't actually. We'll have to consult a historian why we call it Good Friday, but it doesn't seem that great. It doesn't seem that.
Yeah, I played a lot of RuneScape. That was pretty good, but other than that, it was pretty normal.
Yeah. Hello, Latina mommies. Hello.
Hi, Latina mommies. Welcome in.
How are you seeing ads? I specifically killed ads.
I'm also seeing ads. Actually, another round of 3-minute ads. Weirdly,
really, that's actually insane. That shouldn't be right. Okay,
that's a little funky.
Yeah, sorry guys. We will delay chatting for ads. Sorry, I have to type because they cannot hear. Okay, I think I have
membership. Hi.
Yeah, for those of you who have given me money or Twitch Turbo or whatever it is, for those of you who have, but everyone else will just wait a little bit. So we are going to be tier listing exercises today, Alpin.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So, basically, Scab has put together an amazing list of God, how many are even on there? It's like 60 or 70, I would say, or at least we pared it down from like 100.
Oh, wait, I'm not being. Wait, let me just hide the VTubers for a sec. I just realized that I set everything up except for tracking. For me. You're currently moving around.
That's okay.
I'm not. One sec.
Just put me up. I'll entertain him for now. I'll hold him down.
Yeah. Hold him down.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, get your protein ready. It's going to be a big one.
Oh, yeah.
I've actually never done anything like this, like on my stream, which is pretty surprising. But yeah, I've never actually like tier listed all the various exercises before.
Yeah, so the reason why I asked you to collab in the first place, because when you were doing your 1 year celebration for the final time, congratulations on 1 year.
Thank you.
I thought to myself, me and Alpin have never collabed one-on-one before, and I don't think Alpin's ever done the most obvious collab that I could think of as a fellow
of all time
enthusiast. Yeah, and I figured that would be a good opportunity to slide in. Hello, Fox.
You know what's funny too is I said the same thing on my stream. I was like, yeah, Scab and I have never collabed one-on-one. And then Ray corrected me and was like, no, you did. And I was like, what? What are you talking about?
Did we?
And Ray was like, remember Sea of Thieves? And I was like, oh, the impromptu one. That was just us for the first time.
Right, that's true. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
But I also forgot.
Annihilated. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is the second time Ray has owned us epically.
Yeah, well, it's the first planned one. It's technically the second, but it's the first, like, not last minute. I'm eating dinner and I want a yummy little impromptu collab as a treat, sort of one.
Okay, we're back from ads. Okay, so before we tier list, I'm gonna throw. I have 3 mystery food orders to throw at Alpin over the course of this collab. We're gonna do the first one now. We're gonna do the second one whenever we take a break from the tier list because it's all long tier list. Let me.
So
set
I don't know what this is.
You.
This is a surprise.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
All right. Let me set the scene for you. You and your housemates. I know you have 5 grown ass adult men in that small apartment of yours. Have ordered. You have ordered Uber Eats. You have received the wrong order. Oh no. And Uber Eats is closed down for the. I don't. I had to spin a wild tale here in order for this setup to work. But thankfully, You have received 5 items in the wrong order. Wow, isn't that convenient?
Okay.
So you have to hand your ravenous roommate food out of the mystery food order box. Look at that.
Got it.
But you also have to choose one for you. So unknowing what's coming up, and because they're just gonna tear into this food as soon as they're ravenous
Oh,
beasts. You have to figure out what order, and because you can't look into the box first, you're gonna dish these dishes out. All right.
what if I hold on? Wait, what if I like? Can I just take them all? What if I take them all and then I kill my friends?
That is an option. Unfortunately, you
Yeah.
don't want prison food. You don't want that. You know, the macros are terrible. The workout, lots of time to work
I
out,
mean,
granted. Not a lot of protein options in prison.
I mean, the last meal can be anything. If I kill enough people, they'll
The
execute
last
me, and the
meal
last meal
can
could be
be
anything.
anything.
I
True.
could ask for
Shit.
anything.
Oh, why? Okay. The next time we collab, we are going to be going through the macros of final prison meals that I've just realized. That's a fantastic bit. How much?
All
The
right.
okay.
Works for me.
All right. So dish number one is going to be one of your favorites. And now remember, whatever you rank number
Okay.
one, you can't go back because it's that's for you. I don't know how to make
Okay.
that work, but the famed cheeseburger. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful?
Ooh, that's a juicy boy.
Juicy
That
boy.
do be a juicy burger. So here's the thing though, right? So like there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but no, only the one is going to me. So two, three, four,
Yeah,
five don't matter that much, right?
they don't. No, no, no. But I
Okay.
mean,
Well, I think
obviously,
I would put this.
it doesn't
It is pretty
matter, but
good.
we will judge you, depending on.
Yeah, we
Let's
will
say
judge.
your
Uh
favorite friend is 2, and your third favorite friend is second favorite friend is 3. I don't know. I don't know how to make
got
that
it.
work in the context.
Oh, Scab, can we get an assessment of what's on that burger? What are we talking here?
We are looking at we're
Oh,
looking
look at
at a
that.
thick
Ain't that
layer of
pretty?
American cheese. We're
Oh.
looking at chewy and crispy bacon. I'm seeing 50-50 here. I'm seeing some burnt
Oh.
ends and I'm seeing some, oh my god, just the way I like it. We're seeing tomato. We're seeing some lettuce. We're seeing some we're looking at some crispy onions here. A nice thin layer of not too much lettuce. Burger companies be doing this now. They've been putting on too much goddamn lettuce. And
That's okay.
whatever
It's
the
a
sauce is.
reasonable. Yeah,
Yeah.
looks great. I'm going to go, hear me out. I'm going to be
Mm,
bold and I'm going to
mm.
believe that there are greater things coming. I'm going 3.
You're going, oh, okay. So your second scrawniest friend, the person who most needs his protein. I'm gonna reason
Yeah, yeah.
is getting that right there.
This is a
Okay,
tough choice though.
there's the tough choice. Okay, dish number 2 that you pulled out of the box is going to be the broccoli salad.
Ah! Ah!
Oh,
Ah!
look at it. It's
Get it off screen.
delicious. It's creamy.
No.
It has
Put it in 5.
beautiful broccoli 5, which is you're not even. All right, all right, all
No,
right,
you
all
know
right.
what? Don't even put it at 5. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Get it
Okay,
out.
okay. 5.5, just for
Five and a
your
half.
your
Get it
your
off
friend's gonna eat
screen.
half of it and then go hungry for the rest of the night.
Ah. See, I
Hello,
knew evil
Poemi.
was on the
Welcome to the
way.
chat. Yeah. I had
Put
to
me.
throw some bits in. Some
Oh.
lovely rib dish. I grabbed a random image off of Google because everyone likes their ribs a little
Ooh.
bit differently. I hope this is like a good
Yeah.
serving though. This seems like a good. This looks like a wet
That
rub
looks
and
pretty
lots of
good.
barbecue sauce. Yeah, that
Now,
looks like a good meal.
is it that much ribs? Is it that many ribs?
Oh, you're right. You never know what the bone ratio is going to be. You never know.
No, but I mean, like,
Mm.
that's the plate I'm being presented, right? Like that picture, it's that
I
many.
would say so. Yeah,
All right, I'm taking this one. I'm
you're
gonna
taking this
take it.
one.
I'm locking in. This has the
Lock it
most
in.
meat.
Yeah. This seems reasonable. This
I'm
seems a
locking in.
reasonable choice.
Yep, that's
Definitely
me.
not
That's me.
risking it for 4 and 5. Let's see.
Yeah,
Dish
unless
number
there's a
4.
whole cow.
Ooh, you dodged a bullet.
Ooh,
You dodged.
dodged.
This is lettuce wrapped. I believe this is some form of meat. I just googled lettuce wrap and I put it on because I thought it'd
Oh,
be funny.
yeah.
I
Who
don't even
cares? Put
know
it
what
in
to
4. Ah.
put it for. Okay, easy, easy, easy,
All right,
easy.
now banger. Come
Okay,
on.
now here's the final one. Here's what you would have been stuck with if you hard dodged. It would have been an entire ice cream cake.
An entire ice cream cake.
An
You
entire
know
ice cream
what?
cake.
I actually think I kind of aced this. I'm not gonna lie. I
You
think
did
this
pretty
is the
good.
proper order.
I think number two, your friend's gonna go into a diabetic coma, but that's not you, and we don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's not me.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
also probably like if I was listing tier listing here, I'd put burger above ice cream cake, but like I
yeah,
want the ribs. No, that's locked in. That was the right
yeah.
choice.
That
We're
was the
we're
right
good to
choice.
go. We rolled. We
Yeah,
got it right.
yeah. This is better than tier list because now I can reference back to this and say Alpin specifically chose this. I can ignore all the context of the gimmick.
Yeah, yeah.
Alpin. All right, you guys want
I know what
you
you're
guys
trying
want
to
to
do.
get
You're
into?
trying to catch me in a veggie trap.
Yeah. No, I would never. I'm a precious little guy. I never have any machinations. All right, you guys ready for some tier listing? You
Yeah,
guys ready
no
for some?
evil intentions.
Yeah. Everyone can see this. I hope everyone can. Veggies are nasty. Chad agrees with Alpenhard. Um.
Very nice. Very
So
nice.
here's what we're gonna go through. I did stick in a guilty pleasure tier at the top because
Ooh.
as a little because sometimes the exercise isn't the best, but it's what gets you into the gym that morning. Do you feel me, Alpin?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Can you do me a favor though? Can you
yeah,
add an S tier?
I can. Through the
Because I want there to be a tier for like this is maybe objectively the best exercise in its category. Like this
this
single
is
exercise, because there
this
are
is
some
the
of those on here for sure.
this is the best exercise of all time.
Yeah, this
Uh,
exercise is the best exercise.
Go straight to the pool at my gym. That's pretty good. I hate cardio. I hate moving, but that's good for that's good for some people. Yeah. Okay. S tier has been
All
unlocked.
right, so
Yeah.
what we're
We're
gonna
gonna
do
start at the
here,
top.
if it's okay with you, so the
Yeah.
plan here, more or less, everyone, is so we got this big tier list of exercises. We're gonna put them up on the list here. S tier is going to be in the best of its category. So I think what's smart
Yeah.
to do here probably is we're not gonna rank exercises against each other nonsensically because that would be hard. So we're gonna rank for the muscle group. I think that makes sense,
Alpin,
right? So it's like,
Alpin,
okay,
what's better, a bicycle crunch or a Zerker squat? Right now,
yeah,
compare these
exactly.
two.
Like we're gonna rank for the muscle group because
Yeah.
it's really hard otherwise to be like, yeah, how do you compare a dumbbell preacher curl to like pull-ups or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
things that are completely like not relevant to each other, right? Like
Yeah.
you yeah, so I think compared to the muscle it's attempting to train and saying like, is this an exercise that's worth your time, right?
Yeah.
Depending, and I'm also going to come from the perspective personally when I'm talking, just to get the bias out of the way. I'm going to
Yeah.
come from the perspective of building muscle. So
Yeah.
specifically from getting stronger, building muscle, not from like cardio or calisthenics or mobility
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Oh, right. That reminds me. We should probably your credentials. The Zen diagram between my chat and your chat's probably pretty close to a circle. But just in case you guys don't know, Alpin is strong. He's fast. He's
I
in your
am.
area. He's approaching. And he owns a gym. I, on the other hand, am just a bro split gym enthusiast. So listen more to what Alpin has to say, and just assume that everything that I say about these exercises comes with a little bit of jester's privilege. Does that make sense? Is
Well,
that
I was
disclaimer?
talking actually yesterday I did a fitness stream and I was talking about this and sometimes so it's like, people knock on the bro split and if we're talking like optimal, I'll kind of make fun of it too and not really program it for other people. But I will say that at the end of the day, the people who like go into the gym 6 times a week without fail or 5 times a week without fail and just like head empty bro split, just lift heavy shit and don't think about it, they actually will tend to get further than somebody who's overanalyzing what the most optimal lift is. So
Yeah.
sometimes just like the dummy like head in the sand, go lift the big weight works pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big proponent of if it gets you in the gym, just do it. And then worry about the
Exactly,
consequences
because
later.
Yeah, because the best routine is the one you follow, right? Like you can make
Yeah,
an
yeah,
optimal
yeah,
routine, but if you don't actually go out and do it, it's not optimal. So
yeah.
absolutely 100%. And yeah, so my name's Alpin for anyone who doesn't know me. My name's Alpin Allbench. I'm a fitness and variety VTuber. I do own a gym in real life, and I'm licensed to talk about sports related fitness and nutrition to a general population. So if you have a special disorder, this is always my disclaimer. If you have a metabolic disorder or a diet condition or something like that, talk to a specialist. I'm not your guy. But for a general population, yeah, I can talk a little bit to this stuff professionally and legally.
I cannot, but just do it though. Just listen to
Yeah,
whatever I.
yeah, just do it though. I'll put stamps on your statements.
Yeah. So okay, where would you like to start in this giant list of exercises?
You know what? I mean, should we just go in order, or do you want to just grab randomly? How are you feeling?
Let's start at the top for now, and we could put if relevant conversation pieces come out, we can segue into other ones. We can just grab from the list. I think
Okay, all right.
so.
Yeah, so starting with the dumbbell preacher curl. Ooh. So it was funny when we first had this tier list actually, when Scab first found it, because this was someone else's tier list that we like worked
Yeah.
on. So I gave suggestions and Scab actually like ripped things out. And when we first saw this, there were like 100 exercises on this list, and like 10 of them were curl variations. So I
There's
was
so
like, all right,
much
let's not have
curling.
too many curl
Yeah,
variations here.
yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, all right. How are you
I
feeling on
I
it?
I I like any curl that involves sitting because I'm a dirty cheater and I will use inertia. Even if I try my darndest not to, I will try and cheat reps like crazy. So I feel
Uh-huh.
like if I'm sitting down, if I'm locked in, I feel like that automatically puts it above any like standing or like, you know, I don't know how you feel about that as fitness
Oh, I
trainer.
see what you're saying. You're saying
Yeah.
because you cheat, because
Yeah.
you're not strict on your form, it helps you lock in. Yeah, I can definitely
Yeah.
see the logic there. I think personally, I would actually put this, and this is going to sound crazy, but you're going to hear me out. I would put this in a
B.
B tier.
Okay. But, sorry, is that B?
Yeah, I think I'm going to put it in
Yeah.
B, and the
Yeah.
reason why is compared to a lot of the other curl variations. This is a good curl. The
Yeah.
only thing I worry about is you have to really know your machine and your body to get
Mm.
it right. Because sometimes and very often, the machines, sometimes it feels like fitness machines aren't actually made or tested with people actually sitting in them and testing
Oh
out if
no.
the leverages
No,
work right
no.
or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So many times I've like approached a dumbbell like a preacher curl and it just doesn't fit me right. Like it just
Yeah.
doesn't fit right and I can't actually get the max stimulus I want to. So I think most of the time it's like these are can be kind of sketchy if you don't know what you're doing. They could be not as optimal as a more free weight variant.
Yeah.
But I think they're still pretty good. And if you get a good one and you really lock in with it, it's great. But I
Yeah.
also kind of don't like having no tension at the very bottom. There's a little bit of like, tension from gravity because you're arms fully
Yeah.
extended and stuff like that. But yeah, I like it. Just not my first choice for sure for biceps.
On the comment on the machines not being tested on people, the bicep curl machine that we have in my gym, which and I am like a 6'2", normal proportion in the arm. Well, I guess I'm a little wider in the shoulders than most people, but humble brag. Um, the machine says if you read the instructions, you scan the instructions quickly and then just do it. That's my opinion. But it always says line up your elbows with the axis of the machine in order to do it right. Not once have I ever in that gym, any of the machines have been ever able to line up my elbows where it says, line up with the little crosses on the thing to do the thing. These
Yep,
machines are made by crazy people. are made by
they
are
are.
made
No,
by the
seriously.
yeah.
And it's like the cheaper gym you go to, you run into it. Like, actually, I think Planet Fitness is a huge offender of this, where for some reason it feels like the Planet Fitness machines aren't meant for human beings. Like, every time I get into
Yeah.
one, I'm just like, this doesn't work. Like, this doesn't fit
This
right. This
just
doesn't
doesn't make
work.
sense.
I think one of the worst examples, actually, and this is at a current gym that I go to, that I travel out to sometimes.
Yeah.
There's like three different overhead press machines, and none of them actually put me in any sort of proper overhead press position. Every single one of them is like too leaned back and turns it into like an incline bench. And like I can't actually go above my head and back and look through the window like you want to on a barbell. I only just end up being out in front of me somewhere, like in air, like a big high incline bench. And I'm like, what
Yeah.
are we doing? Like, what is this design?
Yeah. Alpin is what we call a gym rat. He's more he owns the den. I don't think it's rat at that
Yeah,
point. I don't
ascended.
think it's
I'm,
yeah.
I'm the I'm the boss of this gym.
I tried, so I made a nice little background because I figured nobody was gonna look at this, but I made a nice little 3D background just for, for the
Oh yeah.
presentation. My first gut instinct was to immediately make the grab the boss of the gym, but for the life of me, I couldn't find just the gym without Man Darkholm or
No.
Billy Harrington in it. I really wanted to.
Oh, it
I
would have been
really
good.
wanted to. Yeah. All right. The dumbbell bicep curl standing in this
Yeah.
example. I would immediately just put this like not even on lower tier. I would just put it like over here if I could. Does that make sense? Does
Yeah, like
that
a low B.
yeah. How do you feel about
I
that?
yeah. So I mean, I would prefer it to the preacher curl personally,
You
but I
prefer
do
it to
think
the
that
preacher
depending on
girl.
if yeah, if you have a good
Oh.
preacher curl though, I think the preacher curl is as good. I think like these are as good
Mm.
as each other. But the only reason I put the preacher curl lower is you might get a bad machine. Whereas
Yep.
with dumbbell bicep curl, you can pretty much always make sure you have good form,
Yep.
if you know
Yep.
what you're doing. So I do think it's
Interesting.
superior. I'd maybe put it in A, even like low A.
Whoa. Oh, by the way, if you guys want to do this tier list yourselves at home, we want to just for fun here it is in the chat. A though, interesting. I mean, I do love the good curl motion. I am a proponent of it, but that is interesting. Put it up like that. I never would have known. I
Yeah,
also
and
don't
the
think I
thing
have any.
too is like it's it's one of those things where you're isolating the bicep in this movement, right? So it's
Yeah.
one of the few movements that's going to just have the bicep involved. And so like yeah, if you don't know your form, if you're not great at form, I think the machine variations can definitely be better. Like if you don't have
Mm,
good form, if you are shrugging up and using inertia and momentum, absolutely. But like if you really know what you're doing and we're doing really strict curls, I do think this probably beats the preacher curl very slightly. I really don't think it's like it matters in like a big way. I think these are pretty much equal with each other. So I mean, you know what? Put in high B. That's my. I'll say high
yeah.
B. It doesn't get an
I
A.
mean,
It
yeah.
doesn't get an A.
Okay. Sorry guys. It appears I have the wrong set of redeems active. It should be
Oh
different
no.
now. Unfortunately, I do not have a live 2D. What the hell? I have a hotkey for a
What?
Santa hat? How long has that been a thing? Wait. How did I activate this?
Santa,
in
Santa. I want
in
protein. I want
April.
protein.
Yeah, sure, in Christmas. How long has that
Merry
been a thing?
Christmas.
Wait. Okay. Let me. That's crazy. Okay, one sec. One sec. Run that. Okay, now the redeem should be fixed. That's the most shocking
Whoa.
thing I've. Okay, Merry Christmas, everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made using Sammy. I programmed it so that if I press one button, it's my live 2D redeems, and if I press the other one, it's my PNG redeems. So hopefully, solve the problem of
Oh.
people trying to redeem like PNG only stuff when I'm on live 2D. Unfortunately, I guess I just forgot today. Sorry, Latino mommies.
Still, that's fancy. I haven't messed
Yeah.
with Sammy at all, but I gotta.
Yeah, you got. I'll maybe we'll run a. I'm gonna try. Foofy doesn't know this yet. I'm gonna try and steal Foofy for like a Sammy basics one of these days. And then
Oh yeah, that
we'll
makes
make that.
sense.
Yeah. Yep. I think everybody, all the streamers, all the tubers should know about it. Anyway, distraction complete. The dumbbell hammer curl, which I am
All
going to
right.
describe as a Naruto ass yee exercise. I hate these, but I don't know how you feel.
All right. So a lot of people tend to think that these are just objectively better. I wouldn't say that. There are some things they're better at, right? So like
Mm,
there are like certain because of the rotation of like that muscle, the brachialis,
yeah.
it does help grow that kind of like deep near your elbow better than a normal curl will. But every time
Mhm.
you're focusing on a different muscle, you're obviously taking some burden off another muscle. So there's going to be a slight decrease, I would say, right, in like the bicep activation versus a strict curl because you're
Mhm.
having that twisting motion. But they're still very good. I think they're as good, if not better, depending on what you're focusing on. I would say like A here, probably.
Really interesting.
Yeah, I think
I
they're pretty great.
I just never. Whereas I can get like a nice full like pump, and I can feel great after an exercise after doing like my bicep curls. I have never felt anything activated on a hammer curl. I've always just felt like I was just lifting the weights using magic of the mind rather than my muscles after a hammer curl. I don't know what maybe I'm just not pushing myself, but yeah, I've never liked these, but maybe this is the episode where I re-examine my previous biases.
Yeah, a lot of it too has to do with like the pronation at the end. So like when you're doing a hammer curl, right? You don't just want to come
Mm,
up to even, you want to actually pronate out. And with your pinkies basically. So there's like even more of a turn that emphasizes the bicep at the end of the hammer curl.
mm.
And so that really helps you feel the bicep in that specific instance. So that's good too. But then again, like we talked about actually in the pre-stream, there's one caveat for everyone that we need to explain here, which
Yeah,
is like
yeah,
different people do have like different muscle insertions,
yeah. Mhm.
just how their body's formed and how things are angle wise. There are some exercises that like, you know, scientifically, objectively might not be effective or as effective, but it might work really well for you. So if you
Yeah,
have an
yeah.
exercise that you love, you feel like it really blows you up, don't let me be the one to tell you it just isn't a good one, right? Like I have exercises that are scientifically not great, but they work really well for me.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so do take that, right? If you don't feel something, maybe there is a better one for you. But
yeah.
yeah.
Yep. I have an example for me in that I genetically do not need to work my traps. They grow.
Hmm.
They I Some people struggle with traps, some people have to do farmer carries and walks. All I have to do is exist and mine grow. However, my
Yep.
biceps do not grow. My biceps, I have to dedicate a lot of time in order to see progress in my biceps. So just
Yeah.
everyone's different. Everyone's, some people struggle, some people excel in certain things. Um and yeah, do you have any one for those? Don't hit me with quads. Everyone hates quads.
Yeah, no, I would say so. It's my chest for sure. Like all
Mm,
bench, the reason I even went with all bench as a name is because my chest is overdeveloped, and
yep.
I feel like I can do chest volume for days, and I never really get tired. And really, this is what we talked about in the pre-chat. It'll come up later. But for me, really, the only time I can even feel my chest is if I'm doing like flies, basically, or cable flies.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as far as for chest activation overall, it's actually not a super effective chest exercise compared to some others. So like it's one of those instances where it's not the best, but for me it works really really well.
Mm.
So yeah, that's chest for me. I like I can't see my feet. I can't look down and see my feet when I'm walking.
Rad. Several women in chat just had neurons flare up like crazy. Um, all right, moving on to the incline dumbbell curl. How you feel?
Yeah.
I like this because again we're seated. I can't cheat as much. It's I would put this higher than probably the other ones. But how do you feel?
I feel the same. I would actually call this S tier. I think this might be one of the best objectively bicep exercises that exists.
Really? Do you just like the extra
Yes.
range, like that little bit extra range, or
Exactly. It's because when you're standing and doing a bicep curl, right?
yeah,
Your arms are going to be just hanging at the bottom, right? There's almost no tension. But when you're doing the incline dumbbell curl, because you can come down even further and you have to go behind you, there's a different leverage for the gravity, basically, right? So it makes you
yeah,
even stretched out at the bottom. You get even more range of motion,
yeah?
which leads to more growth. So I think this is maybe one of the best bicep exercises out there, honestly.
All right, all right, all right. I feel like I want to say more because this is their first S tier, but it's really we kind of covered it with our other curls, but yeah, S tier is wild. I can't say I disagree, but also this is one of those things that I don't think to do when I'm in the gym myself doing arms. So maybe
Mhm.
I'll have to reevaluate. Maybe we might need to.
Yeah, and like doing these right sucks. Doing these right sucks because it's pretty slow. It's not like
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah,
cranking, right? It's like
yeah,
you're coming up really slow. You're pronating at the top and you're letting yourself come down slowly all the way down, big stretch behind. So they're real
yeah,
slow when done properly. But no, these are pretty great. But like realistically, I mean, the difference between any of these curl variations is going to be very minor. You can do
yeah,
whichever one you like the most. It doesn't
yeah.
matter that much.
Speaking of little, you don't like the sword industry, so I'm gonna save these words, these vile words. I'm gonna use
Oh,
them
you could
up.
use them. We're on your stream. I don't care one bit. Go for it.
Little piss baby, little. I will judge you hard in this. I will post videos of you on Instagram. Easy bar. If you ever touch, no, just kidding. I don't hate the easy bar. I just think it's funny to make fun of. Easy bar curl. How you feeling? How you feeling? Do you feeling I'm a little bit wider, I think, than the average human. So I always feel like I'm squeezing my square
Yeah.
peg into a round hole on these easy bar curls. But how do you feel about it?
I'm gonna honestly like the next two are gonna be the same tier for me because I see the next one right there is machine bicep curl, right?
Yeah.
And my problem with these is pretty much the same, which is I think B for both. They're not
Okay.
terrible, they're pretty good. But you're gonna see this coming up over and over and over again. When you have the option between dumbbells and a barbell, it's often the case the dumbbells allow you to get deeper in a stretch position for muscle
Yeah.
growth, right?
Yeah.
So the easy bar, it's going to start bouncing against your hips at some point, and you might not
Yeah.
be able to go further back like you can on the incline dumbbell curl. And
Yeah.
then even then, the fact that it's connected bar, and this applies to the machine one as well, because most of the machine curls are it's two handles, but they don't move independently, right? So you can
Yeah.
move both sides with one hand. So if you have one arm that's stronger than the other, it tends to take over, and then sometimes you could have a muscle imbalance because one arm's working harder than the other in the curl. So like I yeah, I B, they're great. You know, there's nothing wrong with doing them, but I don't think they're better than the others we've looked at
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
far. I think the dumbbells definitely win in curling.
Yeah. Yeah. Alpha Apop. I think it does require a bit of front delt strength though. What's your
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
there's a lot of things that if it comes out further, it will. Yes, absolutely.
yeah,
One of the reasons why we generally don't worry about front delt training at all is because everything hits front delts. So, like,
mm,
if you bench, you're hitting front delts enough, and then
yeah,
if you add OHP on top of that, you might even be hitting front delts too much. So, like, I don't tend to even consider that because it's like
yeah.
we have it coming up here actually later on, and we can even do this now. I think I saw somewhere in the tier list there was front raises. Where would
Yeah,
those
those
be?
are in here
Because
somewhere.
that's they're there. Dumbbell front raise. It's second to last category, like towards the middle on the right. As the
Second
dumbbells.
last
Yep,
toward
yep,
the
yep.
middle.
Right left of that.
Double front
There
right.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can go ahead and throw those and see.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so my personal, I hate these because twice in my life I've pinged a nerve doing these. Which
Uh
had which meant that every time I breathed in, I would erupt in pain, like I was like an anime character
huh.
going through it. Which is one of my worst memories at my work. You guys don't know, I am I'm a hospital security guard. I'm not gonna tell you my actual rank or my position in that industry, but back when I was a regular guard working to merge, I had a pinged shoulder from doing front raises, and I had to
Oh
chase
yeah.
someone around the entire outside of the hospital and tackle them. All the while, if I breathed more than 50%, my entire chest erupted into pain. That was one of my worst
Oh,
guard memories of all time.
and
I just
it's
have
actually a
not
great
been.
example.
Yeah.
It's a great
Oh,
example of what I'm going to talk about here, which is like you're probably overtraining if you're doing these. Like they're good, right? If you, for some reason, weren't getting your front delts hit by anything you were doing, then these would be good because it's actually like a pretty good exercise. But actually adding it into your routine, most of the time you're hitting your front delts plenty through everything else you're doing, and you do not need to add any more volume on there. And in fact,
okay.
adding it sometimes can be overtraining and can lead to injury, which might have even happened in your case.
Yep. Yep. Uh, the next one. Do you feel strongly about it being separate from? I see we have a couple down from it. Push down rope. We have push down bar. Do you want these together?
Oh yeah, they should be together. I didn't see that they
Yeah,
were separate. Yeah,
yeah.
there are some jumps
Uh,
around with that.
yeah. Tricep push down bar slash rope. How you feeling?
Ooh, tricep push down bar and rope. I think these are pretty good. I don't hate these. It's like, yeah, I don't think it's my favorite tricep exercise, but I think these are pretty solid. I'd honestly say like they're A.
Hey, yep, yeah, yep. I
Yeah, I think I'd go A on them.
prefer
They're pretty solid.
I think I prefer rope because at the max, at the lowest you can bring it, I feel like I feel it more. Whereas the bar, I'm sort of crashing into my tum tum or crashing into my thighs.
Mhm.
With the rope, I feel like just because I can just sort of go both ways around my body, I feel like I can just get a little bit more of my triceps out of it. I don't know how you feel about that though.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. I think like if you're gonna do it properly with the bar, you kind of have to get out of the way of the bar. Like you kind
Yeah,
of have
yeah.
to like kick your butt
You
out a little bit and stand
really
back
got
so
to
you have
twerk.
more room. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like both of these. I think they're pretty good. I have my S tier in mind for triceps already, but I think these are
Oh.
like low A's. I think they're pretty damn good.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a wild stat. No, you got rid of French girl. I was gonna make fun of you. I was gonna be like, it's gonna be French girl. It's gonna be French. No, just kidding. Um, uh, I don't really know. I would love to spend more time on tricep pushdown, but I guess they'll more tricep exercises are definitely coming up. It just feels like we're going fast through this because we've been doing biceps so much. But
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like one of the reasons we got rid of like half the things in the tier list was because there were just 20 variations for the same
yeah,
exercise
yeah,
where it
yeah.
didn't matter that much. Like a big one, for example, was like there were a lot of single arm version of a double arm exercise where they're like, okay, tricep kickbacks, but now single arm tricep kickbacks, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it doesn't matter that much. Like
Yeah, yeah.
that's not a big deal. It just takes longer.
All right. Everyone's favorite exercise that will inspire absolutely zero negative thoughts about the grade school in North America. The
Up,
push-up, specifically the
down.
diamond push-up.
Ooh, where are you
I
thinking?
I'm not a huge push-up guy because I'm
Mhm,
a bit of a dirty bulker. I got a little bit more fat on me than than probably your average human. I'm kind
mhm.
of going from max strength to lowest speed. My EVs and
Hell
IVs
yeah.
are lined up. I'm not really huge on
Listen, I
push-ups.
was
I
a
prefer,
power lifter.
yeah,
I've been there.
yeah. I would prefer to lift something away from me than myself. I don't want to think about how much I weigh. You know.
Yeah,
Um. How,
absolutely.
how do you feel about the push-up?
You know what? I think the push-up honestly doesn't get enough love. I would put this
Oh,
in particular in A tier.
yep. Okay. I kind of felt that. The push-up's good. It's a good exercise. You can do it anywhere. You
Yep,
can be doing a push-up
do it
right now while
anywhere.
listening to this.
Yeah,
But
and that's the best part is
yeah,
like push-ups, there's so few exercises. Like when you think about making a body weight routine and working with
yeah,
just what you have next to you basically, there are so many muscles that are so hard to hit with the amount of tension required to grow them, the amount of resistance required to grow them to like a way where weights could.
yep, yeah,
Push-ups
yep,
can do that. Like you
yep,
don't need to bench. You can just do push-ups. It's
yep.
just as effective once you start doing harder variations, right? Like obviously you're going to get up to like 30, 40 push-ups and
Mhm.
then yeah, that's getting a little ridiculous and that's going to be more cardio than anything. But there are so many variations like diamond push-ups, like
Yep.
decline and incline push-ups, like really strict slow push-ups, like one arm
Mhm.
push-ups. There's so many variations where it's your body weight is enough to really stimulate your chest. So I think really all
Yep.
push-ups are amazing. They're A. I wouldn't put them. The only reason I don't put them in S is because like we do have chest exercises that can go a little bit further, but you can do push-ups at every level and they're
Yep.
effective.
I
So I think they're
do
amazing. They're great.
I will admit the fact that you can do a push up just anywhere. Like before I shower, sometimes I crank a couple of inclines off the
Yeah,
bathtub. And for that,
yeah,
that is beauty incarnate. That
it's
is
amazing.
worth yeah. That's a nice
Yeah,
little good morning to myself. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Sometimes I wish that we weighed like 3 times as much so that a body weight squat would be just as effective.
There was a version of this live stream where instead of me doing the Uber Eats thing, it was going to be ranking anime workout and
Ooh,
hyperbolic time chamber versus gravity. our gravity room was gonna be the one. I
Oh,
don't know how I don't know how you
ooh,
feel about that conversation, but because both have their uses, I think. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I think like if I was ooh, well, the thing is, the hyperbolic time chamber has weights.
It
There are
does, yeah,
weights in
yeah,
there. Yeah. So like,
yeah.
I think I'm
But
going to take hyperbolic time chamber, also known by the
also,
way as the anabolic gains chamber.
but you also have to remember that this isn't played up a lot in the anime, but you have to have an extremely strong mental fortitude in order to last any amount of time in there because it's an infinite void of
Yep.
nothing where no sound comes back. So you're probably not spending a year in there like our protagonist.
Yeah.
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if I can bring in like enough batteries and some video games, I think I'd be okay. But
Yep. Yeah.
yeah, I might take hyperbolic time chamber because I
Yep.
think because we're humans, I feel like the gravity chamber can't do as much for us. Like if I was a
Yep. True.
Saiyan,
True. True.
I
True.
might go gravity chamber. But like, yeah, because we can't stand, like that'll hurt us eventually, like joint wise and stuff. I gotta go hyperbolic time chamber. Yeah.
If I was suddenly a Saiyan, I wouldn't care anymore whether or not I lived or
Yeah.
died. I would. All right. The
It
close
would be the best
grip.
thing ever.
Yeah, pretty high up there. Close grip bench press. I uh
Ooh.
I'm not huge on this is one of those what's the opposite of a guilty pleasure where I fully understand why we have this. I just personally don't like this.
You just want to stay away from it. Yeah.
I just want to stay away from it. I because I already bench close to my max without a spotter. I don't need to be
Mhm.
under that bar any longer than I have to be. How
So
do you
this
feel?
one's tough because this is a personal, I don't even want to say guilty pleasure because it's a good exercise. This is an A tier, I think objectively. For
Mhm.
me, this is the S tier that has ever happened.
We can do that.
This
We can
is
do
my
that for you.
exercise. Yeah,
Really?
this is my specialization actually. So I don't bench normally. I only close grip bench.
You only close grip? That's
Yep.
insane.
Yep.
That's
My
off.
my bench record's a close grip. And so the 305 pound bench that I've done, it was a close grip, strict no arch bench press.
Wow. I don't even know how to process this information because I
That's
bench a
why.
lot. I bench a
Yeah.
lot, but I don't think I've done anywhere close to my highest with close grip. I don't think I've ever. Oh, this is forbidden Alpin knowledge. I'm gonna. This recontextualizes our entire friendship. I don't know how to. I
Well,
respect it,
this is
but it
why this is this is the reason why I look like I have tumors on my arms because my triceps and my chest in particular are overdeveloped.
Okay,
Because this
okay.
is the only bench I do.
Really, that's wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
My body really hates going wide on anything. It likes
Yep.
being very narrow in like every lift
Mm,
I do. So I just kind of naturally fell into it with like, yeah, no, I'll just literally have my arms at my side and come up and down. That
yeah,
just,
yeah, yeah,
works for me. So yeah, I don't even wide bench.
yeah. I sort of relate to that the body wants to be closed in thing. Unfortunately, my dimensions have forced me if I want to do the exercise, I have to go pretty wide usually. But
Yeah, I mean it's all relative though. So like, if your chest is wide, for example, the shoulder width is going to be wider. What still matters for it to be the close grip is just being like right in that,
yeah,
shoulder range basically, right in line with your shoulder and then coming down more to your side.
yeah,
So like you could still do it even if you're wide, unless you're like, actually no, I think you could still do it all the time. It's just yeah, if you prefer it wide or you want to deal
yeah,
with that and hit your triceps also.
yeah. All right.
Put it in guilty
Now,
pleasure because like I don't think
yeah,
it's the best tricep or chest exercise. It just is for me. But
yeah,
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 it's a
yeah,
guilty pleasure for sure. But it is a good
yeah.
one. It's otherwise I'd say it's an A.
If you get a little spring in your step when you're trying to remember what day you're on, like what part of your routine you're on, and you think, "Oh shit, I'm
Mhm.
about to do close grip bench press," that's guilty pleasure for me. That's at, oh,
Oh
okay,
yeah.
I'm moving 5% faster to the gym because I just remembered what I get to do something today. You know?
Do you want to hear something really cursed?
Mm.
Close grip bench, maxing out is the first exercise I've done for like 7 years straight of lifting every day. every single
I
time.
I so I'm in a bro split, so I can't bench every day. But every day I do chest. Every day I always start with flat with flat bench every single time
Yeah.
because I know the science, the so-called scientists want us to warm up first in order to no, the warm up
Yeah.
is the entire exercise for me. I'm flat
Yeah.
benching, I'm getting the most muscle out of it, I'm getting the big numbers. Fuck you.
Exactly. The warm up is anything under 200 pounds. That's the
Yep.
warm up. But but before I became a personal trainer, before I actually got licensed and all that stuff, yeah, for about 7 years on my workouts, I did always lead because I did full body primarily every day.
Mm.
Not like every day, but like every day I worked out, I would do full
Yeah.
body. And bench would always be the first. Now that's not
Yeah.
smart. That's not something I suggest you do. I just
Yeah.
all bench is not a joke. that was my specialty. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
It's what I've always loved. Even now, obviously, chest day
Yeah.
starts with it because that's
Yeah.
smart to do. You always lead with your compound. But yeah, I love this thing. This is my like one favorite exercise probably ever.
My first gym memory in junior high school because the high school that that our building was physically connected to had a real gym for like their actual athletes, but in junior high they wouldn't let us
Hmm.
get underneath the weights except for one day
Yeah.
in which the gym teacher wanted to teach us lifting weights. And
Oh.
the first device, the first like thing, the first stage that I ever got to try was just flat bench. And that formed like a core memory. I still fondly remember that day as being like, because I was like a chubby kid, like, oh, I'm like the strongest person in class for this. I'm
Right.
like,
Right.
this feels good. What the fuck is this? Where was this? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you grew up a big boy, this speaks to you like you hear angels singing when you look at it. If you grew up a big
yeah,
boy.
yeah, yeah. Something that demons sing out to you. I actually don't hate it that much, but this is the probably one of the most hated exercises I think of all time.
Yeah.
The skull crusher.
The
I
skull
think
crusher.
I don't do skull crushers that often. I think if you're
Mhm, me
whacking
neither.
yourself in the forehead, you're doing them wrong. I think you should
Yeah, no, you
probably
are.
just yeah, I think you should probably just go behind the head. Anyone who
Yep.
tries to teach the skull crusher as it has to like your hands have to touch your own head is an idiot. And that's how I was taught them. So
Yeah, go beyond. Go beyond.
yeah,
I think skull crushers are A tier. I would
yeah,
say. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
they're pretty damn good. They're one of the
Please don't
best
hit injuries.
tricep exercises, but not the best one, I'd argue.
Yeah,
The best one is on this list. But yeah, I'd say it's an A, but it's not like the best in category.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a high A.
Yeah.
It
I think
clears,
they're
I would argue this clears the pushdowns.
really interesting.
Yeah,
No, that makes sense from a building muscle exercising. I'm just thinking my biases were kicking in for a second because I just like doing push-ups more.
totally.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people
Uh
don't realize there are three heads to the tricep, and Skull Crusher kind of aces all of them. So
uh,
like it's
hmm.
just like it's a little better. They're all great, but it's a little better.
Three Alpin, let's slow down there for a second. Try Sap.
Hmm.
Scratch
Hmm.
chin. Anyway, must be a coincidence. Moving on.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
coincidence. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it.
Uh here's something I never do. I don't think I have a machine for this in my gym. The seated machine dip. You'd have
Oh
to
yeah, I have. Okay, these are. I
all
I
levels of Chris. Thank
I
you.
kept this on because I think they're funny. I would okay.
We so this is
I would
your
put
funny
this in
pick.
C or D.
C or D. Okay. Let's put a D just so we can have one in D just in case.
Oh,
Um
don't worry. There are others that are going to be in D,
okay,
in my
good.
opinion. But okay, so I specifically hate the fact that this is seated and not assisted. Now, the assisted
Yeah, yeah,
dip
yeah.
is an
Yeah, we have
amazing
assisted dip
machine.
in my gym. Yeah, that one's good. Yeah.
Yeah, what I recommend is if you have a seated machine dip, turn around and do it the right way.
I
So
what's funny is that even though we don't have a seated machine dip by Jim, because I know enough about the dip motion, I can picture what you meant
Yeah,
by that. That's really funny to
yeah,
me.
yeah. You know the part of the dip where you're actually supposed to hit your chest?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, this
Uh,
isn't that. So
if you guys are new to fitness, you might not know what a dip is. It's literally just lifting your body. But the funny thing about what real life motion is that, Alvin? Do we have any? Did we invent the
it's like
dip
the
for the
end
gym?
portion of a muscle up.
Yeah. And if you guys don't know, for the assisted dip, why it's better is that it's literally like resistant. So like if the heavier you are and the more help you need, the more weight you put on the machine so that it's pushing you up, it's assisting you more, which means it's a really good
Right.
device if you are brand new to the exercise, because you can literally just put on the
Hmm.
training wheels and you can just learn the motion
Oh
really,
yeah.
really well. Yep.
And even if you're advanced and you want to do high
Yep.
reps, like I can do, obviously, like I can dip for days, but I even
Yep.
still will use assisted dip or assisted pull up on the same machine, because sometimes I want to do some really high volume stuff, some really high
Yep.
rep stuff. So I think they're great if done properly, but seated this way, it just doesn't
Yep.
make sense because to
Yep.
emphasize the chest and the dip, you have to be leaning forward. And when you're sitting down, that doesn't work as well. You're literally like in the wrong position. If you turned
Yep.
around and kneeled, instead and lean forward, it would be better. So I think it's like it's a C or a D. Jokingly, it's a D because like the form in the picture is not it, Chief.
Yeah. Okay, we'll put it in C.
She's not even
'Cause,
leaning forward in that one. She's just like, yeah, we're just. It's really just a tricep push down at this point.
okay. Overhead cable tricep extension. These feel great to me, but at the same time, I never really feel like they're doing like it as a motion. It feels good to me. As like an
Hmm.
exercise, I don't either. I'm doing them wrong or I'm not going heavy enough. But these always feel like I'm just not getting the same sort of post gym
Uh
fatigue,
huh.
like that good feeling to
This
me.
is
I don't
gonna
know
be
if you know. Hmm.
this is gonna be really funny because this is the objective S.
This is the objective S. Okay,
Well, I
interesting.
don't want to say objective, just that I have seen some studies, in fact, about
Hmm.
tricep extensions that suggested this was the most efficient tricep
Okay,
extension
okay.
that exists.
Yeah. I
So
like
I've seen
I
some EMG data too. So it's like
yeah,
it seems to be the best. I don't do it. I haven't done it. I know
yeah.
how to. But like I mean the thing is for me personally is like I don't have too much experience myself working triceps because I've never
Mm,
had to because I just
yeah.
close grip bench and that's my tricep all the
Yeah, yeah.
time and my triceps are like overdeveloped. So I never needed to.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think from the data I've seen these might be the best tricep exercise.
Uh as a bonus to the overhead tricep extension, if you do these, if you're about 6 to 8 months in the gym and you're seeing some of the benefits, but you're not like built yet. If you wanna look great in the mirror, if you need that little motivation, at the top of the tricep extension, your body's
Oh
in like
yeah.
perfect form to like show off
Yeah,
all
you're
your
naughty.
progress. Yeah, if
Yeah.
this is the ego booster on this one, because your
Yep.
your arms look great, your shoulders look great, your chest and your stomach looks great. Um, if you it's this one I like. There's a lot of exercises I do not want to look in the mirror while doing. This is one of them though.
Yep.
This is
This is one of the great ones.
yeah
And if
yeah
you
yeah
want to test what I mean when I say like you can actually feel it yourself if you have like a good mind muscle connection, you can kind of feel why this is more efficient. So if you just like kind of hang your arm at your side, right? Or put it out in front of you and you just extend your tricep, you're like, okay, I recognize my triceps being active. Now do me a favor, everyone watching, put your arm above your head and behind, like in that, and immediately feel how there's a stretch on your tricep, even in the starting
yeah
position.
yeah
Do you feel that?
yeah yeah.
Yep. It just puts you in a disadvantageous position, which is a great thing for this sort of lift because the muscle's pre-stretched. So
Yeah.
it's pre-stretching the tricep. That's awesome. I think this, yeah, might just be the objective S tier.
Mhm. We're on. Are we considering tricep dips? I know this is an unassisted machine. Are we considering this the same as assisted?
On no, I mean, I would say unassisted's great. I would say these are A tier. This is
Right
good
here? Yeah.
tricep exercise, just straight
Yeah.
up.
Not a, not a lot to talk
Yeah,
about. Try to just do
yeah.
it
I
and
mean, it's
and
like
feel good.
it, it's kind of like a different leveraged version of the close grip bench, right? It's hitting your chest, it's hitting your triceps.
Mm,
So it's a lot like a close grip bench, just with a different like range point, different leverage point,
yeah,
right? The
yeah.
load is different. It's not loaded onto your joints the same way. Very effective exercise, very good. Any sort of dip variation is a damn good one. So
Mm. Sorry, just grabbed a drink. Um, machine tricep extension. I don't think I have one of these in my gym either, to be honest with you.
yeah,
Maybe I do.
I have a problem
There's
with these. I'm gonna put this in C or D.
seriously. Okay. Um,
I have a problem with these. You can go first though.
yeah, there's two or three machines towards the corner of the gym that I just never took a close look at, and this might be
Mhm.
one of them. I don't know. Maybe I should take inventory of my local gym, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this.
Yep. All right. So let me tell you the problem and why this is probably going in C or D. So if you think about doing a dip, like this is I feel like an invention that didn't need to exist because if you think about like doing a dip, even or an
Right?
assisted dip, for example, right? You're lowering your body, you're raising your body. This is not that. It's like the opposite. Instead of lowering and raising your body, you're just pushing the bar thing, like the handle grips down.
Right?
So as you can imagine, you need a seatbelt for this thing if you can put a lot on the tricep extension because you just lift yourself up.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I
Like
understand. The physics have been
and it
made
doesn't come
apparent to
with a
me.
seatbelt, I promise.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think there's some good use of it maybe in like the lower end, right? If you're starting off and using lower weights and stuff. But I mean, at that point, I'd say, hey, just do an assisted dip instead, right? Or
Yeah.
do any of the other tricep exercises rather than this one because just lifting yourself up also takes some of the tension off. So it's like,
Yeah.
we
Okay.
don't need no
I
rocket
have
ships.
I have a personal vendetta against this next one. Not for the exercise
Oh,
itself, but
okay.
because I go to a public gym, and in a public gym, I can't control who my gym mates are. So whenever I want to bench, and there's like three newbies, God bless them for being in the gym, but three newbies taking up two benches to bench dip to show each other. There's always newbies taking up too many benches when I want to bench.
Yeah.
Doing bench dips.
Okay.
You can do these anywhere,
I feel
guys.
like exactly. No, I feel like we need to split this one where it's like if you're at home, this is an A tier exercise. If you're at the gym, don't do it.
Don't do it yet, please, for the love of God. I'll put it as like B. Bell,
Like
bot
I
shredders.
don't
Oh,
see I don't
yeah.
see why I would like ever do this over any of the other dip exercises available in a fully stocked gym. Right? If I'm at
Yeah.
home, awesome. If you're at a
Yeah.
home gym, you don't have access to equipment, this is an A tier exercise. It's a great way to work things like your triceps, for example, that's really hard to otherwise
Yeah.
work. And outside of doing like diamond push-ups, when you don't have equipment, that's great. It's A tier then. Dips are awesome. Yay. If you're
Yeah.
at a gym, why are you even there doing
Why
this?
are you even? Yeah.
Just
Why are
go
you
get
doing
some
this?
weights, dude.
Bot shredder referring to the previous exercise. You're supposed to anchor yourself on cheat and pop
Yeah.
out unreal weight with tricep dip machines.
Right, but mine don't have seatbelts
Yeah. I
or a way to anchor myself.
maybe some of them come with like a little like foot like bar thing. Maybe I don't. I'm trying to think about what the easiest way to fix this machine would be, and I guess that would be
Not have
I
it.
don't know.
That's the easiest way to
Yeah,
fix the machine,
not have it easy. Yeah.
honestly. Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. Because like if I have to fight against the machine, like if to do the exercise, I have to fight against the machine and be like, oh yeah, let me
Yeah.
like, I don't know, stick my feet under the machine and pull really hard to make sure I don't
Yeah.
rocket ship up. I'll just simply do something else.
Yeah. This next exercise, if I see people doing this, I respect that they know what they're doing, but also I think, damn, you must fucking hate yourself. Tricep kickbacks.
A
There's
B.
B. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
they're all
like
right. We have better
they're
tricep exercises.
yeah, they're good. It's just like God, you could be doing anything else right now, brother. You could be.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is again, this is like an A tier home gym exercise,
Mm,
but and even it's higher in the gym. It's not like a dip. It's not exactly like an unweighted like bench dip where you can do it off any couch.
yeah,
But if you're at home and all you have is a bench and a dumbbell, which is a lot of people, you can have a great workout with just that. You don't need anything else. You can have a killer workout at any level just by making those variations harder. So for that,
yeah,
yeah, it's like an A tier exercise. But if you're in the gym and you have access to everything, like there are better tricep exercises. We've
yeah,
listed like 5. So,
yeah.
do one of those. But if you
Bot
really
Shredder,
like these, you can absolutely do them.
yeah. Bot Shredder in the chat. Tricep kickbacks make me feel sad. That's
I
what
think
you
they're
want from
hard
your
to get right.
exercise. Yeah,
Yeah, I think they're hard to get right, and it's one of those things where it's like you could spend a lot of time getting good at them, but you should maybe spend that
yeah,
time getting good at a different one,
yeah. In my early 20s, when I first started to get really, really into the gym, we're talking like I'm reading Ziz ship posts.
Yep,
Uh,
yep.
I'm listening to Elliot Hulse before he went insane. A pre-insane Elliot Hulse lifestyle. I'm
Yep.
listening.
You're taking Jack 3D.
I'm taking Jack
Jacked.
3D. I got the 12-hour Rich Piano workout on.
Yep.
Back then, my friend group, they were all like sort of new to the gym like I was, but all like really super into it. They were all about the bent over row. So it has a warm spot in my heart, but I don't do these anymore. Fuck
Yep.
these. Fuck these. I don't have the
I feel
uh,
like I feel like we get killed if we don't put this in S tier. Like I feel like
yeah.
we basically we have to die if we don't put this in S tier, more or
Yeah.
less.
Yeah.
Um, I would argue that maybe, and we could probably knock this one out now. I could argue maybe the bent over dumbbell row is a little better, but realistically, you might not have past a certain point. You might not have dumbbells that big. It's in the next row.
Yeah.
It's like the top row, middle, almost exactly.
Top row, middle. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
there it
bent
is.
over dumbbell row. There we go. Well, they're right
Yeah, I
there.
think like they're both kind of S. Maybe the
Yeah.
bent over dumbbell row is a little better because you can go further back because right the
Yeah.
bar you have to stop at your chest when you're doing the bent over row.
Yeah.
You can go get a little further behind your when you're doing the dumbbell row.
Dumbbell
But
rows
they're both
lack
kind of S tier.
aura.
What do you mean oh yeah, dumbbell. Yeah,
They
exactly.
kind of
Okay.
do,
Sorry, I
actually.
thought I misread that. I thought you
They
were saying
kind of
barbell
do,
lacks
yeah.
aura, but no, you're right. Yeah, he's just so right. Like I would argue that's what I was saying. Like I would argue maybe the dumbbell row's a little better, but like
Yeah.
you can't. Come on,
Yeah.
come on. It
Yeah. Plus,
does have aura. Yeah.
yeah. At my old gym, the dumbbells went up to 125, I think, which was great. In my
Hmm.
current gym, they only go up to 75, which when we get
Yeah.
to some of the chest presses, I'm going to have to put a big disclaimer because 75 dumbbell isn't enough
Totally.
for me anymore. So,
Oh,
um,
totally. And that's one
yeah,
thing that you have to consider is like at any point, if you don't have access to high dumbbells, the barbell becomes the better option, right? Like, sure,
yeah,
if you have access to 150-pound dumbbells, the
yeah,
dumbbell related exercises may be a little better. But
yeah,
if you don't, if they do max out at 75, yeah, go use that barbell.
yeah. I'm convinced this is sort of a side story. I'm convinced the 200-pound dumbbell only exists so that you can walk up to it when your friends are in the gym, pretend to lift it, and go, "Oh shit, someone super glued this to the rack." What a jerk!
Yeah,
And then you go out.
those are reserved for the bodybuilders. Those are
Yeah.
reserved for Gold's Gym in, Venice Beach.
Where the heck do they sell 150-pound dumbbells? I wish I knew because I could have really used those back when I was like 23 and at my absolute pinnacle of strongest.
Yeah.
All right, the Meadows Row, which this is an exercise I
The
knew,
Meadows
but I
row.
didn't know what the name of it was until this tier list.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
how do you feel about? Because I never do these. We do have one of these hinge devices in the gym, but I usually avoid it because I don't want to look like an idiot if I do something wrong.
Landmines. Yeah. I have one in my gym. So I don't use it so much anymore, but I used to program for my clients Meadows rows pretty
Mm,
frequently. I do like them a lot. I'd say
mm.
A.
Okay.
I like them a lot. I think they're great. It's really the only reason I don't want to put them as S. I think they're as effective. I just think they're annoying time wise, personally. This is like a
Yeah.
personal thing,
Yeah.
but my bias, right? Obviously, the longer you're exercising, if you're not big on stamina, you're gonna get fatigued. So I'd rather knock out both sides right away. But like if you have infinite time and recovery and you could just hang out in the gym all day, I think the Meadows row probably clears all the other rows just because it's
Yeah.
way more focused. You can go deep still. You're really locked in if you're doing it right. And yeah, you get that extra. You can go past the chest with the barbell. I think it's great. I just don't want to spend that time doing each side individually for like X many sets. That's just not what I'm about. I don't have that time. So I'm going to say A tier.
All right, let's take a small break. I'm going to run the ads. No, I'm not, because ads are triggered automatically. Never mind. We're just going to go right into the mystery food order number 2. My favorite.
Oh boy. Okay, that's exciting.
Yeah. Okay. If you guys weren't around from the start, we're just kind of tier listing, or not tier listing, but I'm forcing Alpin to make choices that he doesn't want to make. And that's
hey, I won this one.
Yeah, he did win this one. He successfully chose ribs as the order that he was going to eat, and then he passed off all these ones to his friends, who are one of them is still in a diabetic coma. I still, your biases aside, I love broccoli salad so much. So much.
Broccoli salad sounds like a joke. Like I didn't even know I've never encountered that food in my life. I thought
you don't know what broccoli salad is? It's literally just
conceptually
cheese.
I know what it is.
Yeah, it's cheese and cream and bacon. You just have to eat a little bit of broccoli along with it. It's really good.
A lot of broccoli. Sounds like a lot of broccoli.
Yeah. All right, so as this works, Alpin got the wrong food order. He has to choose. He has to hand the food off to his ravenous roommates, and he has to save one for himself. He can only save one for himself, and there's no going back because his friends are going to tear into these. So we're going to start off with food option 6, broccoli salad again. Oh no!
Is that another?
It's another broccoli salad.
Another broccoli salad.
Who's ordering all this broccoli salad? Oh, it must be my food order. That's crazy.
Yeah. Tell me who it is. I'm gonna beat him. All right, put that in 5. Get that out of here.
Put that in 5. Okay.
I won't even give it to my worst enemy. Like I said,
I do it. I do it. I knew you would hate this. I knew you would hate the broccoli salad. So I was like, I'll include it twice. That'd be funny.
Yeah, dodge it. Yeah. Dodge both times.
All right, dodge. Okay.
Apop says you can cut the broccoli with cauliflower if taste is an issue. Yeah, but what if taste is still an issue? I don't like vegetables.
All right, meal number 7.
Can I cut it with chicken instead?
No. Taco salad.
Okay.
Oh, that's sort of better, right?
Okay, I would eat this. I would eat this.
Yeah. This is
I would eat this.
Sour cream, chicken. I think this one is. I don't know. I just sort of grab these off.
Could be or like Poles. Yeah, carnitas or something. I'm gonna go 3 on that. I think I could mess with it, but
okay.
Yeah, I could mess with it, but I take the avocado out. I wouldn't eat that.
Yeah, vegetables are real. Vegetables are real, guys. Listen, I'm not like a hardcore vegetable guy, right? I'm not going out and I'm not buying vegetables. But if you dump enough cheese and bacon on them, I can understand them as a delivery vehicle for the cheese and bacon.
Do you see the problem?
Yeah.
Do you see the problem logic-wise with that approach?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're great if you ruin them. They're great if you mask them with a bunch of other shit.
Yeah. All right. Meal number 8. Oh, potato salad. Someone's invited a classic to the party. Oh, we all love potatoes.
Actually a banger. A banger.
Yeah, this one they put the time, they got that little paprika on there. Oh god, goodness gracious.
2. I'm going 2. You know what? I don't know what 4 is yet. We got 1 and 4 left. I'm gonna go 2.
Are you seeing a pattern here? Have you noticed this one's a little themed?
I'm gonna hope. I'm hoping still. I'm hoping. I'm coping and I'm hoping.
Ooh, Caesar salad. It's got chicken. It's got chicken. You can eat around it.
It's got chicken. It's a chicken Caesar salad. No. I can mess with salads if there's not too much. Caesar salad's good. I'll have it. I'm gonna take that. I'm afraid of what the last thing is, so I'm taking that.
Okay, you're gonna.
It's meat, isn't it?
You're gonna regret this.
Last thing's rotisserie chicken.
It is unethically sourced hazmat goo. It's unethically sourced.
No!
It's because I did not ask if I could use his likeness for this collab. I just grabbed his profile image.
Oh no, Has. He's running a longer right now.
I'm impeding on your copyright, and it's going right into you're feeding one of your friends unethically sourced hazmat goo. The Has goo.
I feel like that's steroids. I feel like it would work like that.
It's anabolic.
It would work like Venom.
Yeah. So you become like a small hazmat after a little bit, after like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a
Yeah,
little
I
taste.
think it'd be good for your muscles at the very least. But
Yeah.
yeah, someone's getting the has goo. That's fine.
Yeah. All right, not bad. All right, so just as a record, uh this is number one, and that's number two. Everyone,
Yeah, you
on
know
my opinion,
what?
hmm,
I think I kind of I'm looking at. I'm kind of thinking to myself, did I do it again? I think I might have
you kind of won again.
because
I would have risked it all for the taco salad. I'm gonna be honest with you, but
yeah,
the
like I'd
Caesar
be
salad's not bad.
fine with it.
Yeah,
Right, these
yeah,
top three, I'm good with eating any of the top three here. I would take the avocados out and maybe some of the salsa, right? Just a
yeah,
bit of it. I'm
yeah,
good with the cheese. I'm good with the lettuce. Sour cream, I'm not a big fan of, but I like everything in Caesar salad. I'm actually
mm,
good with like salads if they're just lettuce. And I
yeah,
like
yeah,
the sauce, has chicken in it, croutons are good, and potato salad
yeah,
slaps. So I'm happy here too.
yeah. You're okay. You're doing good. You're doing good. The next one's gonna
Yeah,
destroy
kind of
you
killed it.
though, mentally and physically.
Oh no. Oh.
It's not all salads, I promise. All
Okay.
right.
All right. All right.
All right, we're up on chin ups. My opinion, I am a little bit too much of a perma bulker to do more than like two, so I'm not huge on chin ups. I bench my body weight. I bench a little bit more than my body weight. I'm like the humble brag a little bit, but when it comes to something like a chin up, I'm not. I'm not great. How you feel?
You know what? I like that you went immediately to S tier. I do want to make the quick distinction. There are
Mm,
pull-ups in here. So chin up
yeah,
and pull-up are for this purposes separate things.
right.
Um, so I would say high A, maybe S. I
I
think
A maybe
chin ups
S.
and pull-ups.
Okay.
The thing is, because like let's just get pull-ups out of the way too. Put pull-ups in S tier, like the highest possible in S tier that can even be
Pull
there.
up being right here.
Yeah, just go ahead and put that at the top of S tier. There you go.
Oh,
If there's
okay.
one exercise you can do in your life ever, if you had to pick literally one exercise, it's the
Yeah,
deadlift or it's pull-ups. There are no other
yeah,
choices.
yeah,
That it's one of the best exercises in the world, just all around.
yeah. A and then B, but much progressive overload. Kuromara's going through it right now. Kuromara,
The progressive overload is bulk. That's the
yeah,
progressive overload. Gain weight
yeah.
or do
Simply,
muscle
simply
ups.
grab a newborn calf, carry it into town, repeat. Easy.
Yeah,
Done.
yeah. Or
Um,
put weights on. You can weight
or put
yourself
weights
down
on.
for
Yeah,
pull-ups too.
yeah, yeah. Machine back extension. I don't think I've ever done one of these. I don't know what what it looks like the guy's exercising his spinal cord from the image. Please explain,
Yeah,
Elvin.
it is. It's like it's lower back and spinal erectors mainly.
Yeah,
Obviously I'd prefer the deadlift every time.
yeah.
I'd see it. I'd see it, I
That's it.
think
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, it's not amazing. Because a lot of it too is
Machine.
just force, like especially how the machines are oriented at the gym for this, and
Yeah.
especially how people tend to use them. They're not really doing a proper back extension. They're really just kind of
Mm,
pushing back, and like oftentimes in a way that's not the healthiest either. So
yeah.
like, I think it's kind of not great. There's many other great, better ways to hit
Yeah.
back.
Now, I always thought back extension was that not that machine, but like that little platform we step on, which you bend at like the waist and you just hold on to weights if you want to make harder. Is that the same exercise
Yeah,
or
no,
am I?
that's in here too.
Okay,
No,
that's
that's a
in here too.
different one.
Okay,
This is very different. Yeah.
okay, okay. The the inverted row, which I
Oh, I
am.
love these.
I don't. This is another one of those. I have to go to a public gym, so if I see you doing this in one of my two squat racks and not doing this in say the what's the assisted power rack called uh
Smith machine.
Smith machine. If I don't see you doing this in the Smith machine that no one is ever using, that would be perfectly fine for you to do these in. And if you are doing this in one of my two fucking power racks, I'm going to kill you.
I'm gonna scream.
I'm going to scream.
All right, hold on. I give them a pass. I give them a pass if they're doing a superset of it, right? We can give
Oh
them a
yeah,
pass
yeah, yeah,
if they're like, I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know, they're squatting or something. It'd be weird to have a squat that low because you need to be low to do these.
yeah, yeah,
But it'd be like, I don't know, if they're doing some sort of superset, that's fine.
yeah.
You know what's funny? So these are also called Australian pull-ups because you're down under, right? Upside down.
I've never heard that,
But
but I
like
love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I use these for literally almost every one of my clients.
Yeah.
I have like all my clients do these actually. I love
Okay.
them. I think they're amazing. But I agree with you. I think if
Yeah.
you're in a gym with other people in it, you probably shouldn't take up the rack because you do need the
Yeah.
you have to take the squat or the bench. You have to take someone's squat or bench slot to do this
Yeah.
exercise.
Yeah.
And that's not great because it's like not what the machine's really meant for.
Yeah.
But these are great. They're awesome. I agree with you though. If you're in a gym, let's
Yeah.
put it in B
Yeah.
because they're good for you. But if you're in a gym, yeah,
Yeah.
you should probably do
Yeah.
something else. I mean, the thing is that's tough is like these are actually really good. I don't feel like these are anything like bench dips where you should probably just do an exercise with weight. Like these work
Mhm.
really well. So put them in A. Put them in A. That'd
Yeah.
be my. I want to say A. You can obviously put them wherever you want. I do agree with you though that people
Yeah.
probably shouldn't be doing them, but in an empty gym,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. And the empty the gym, the public gym at 3 a.m. is a different beast than the than the public gym at
Yep.
3 p.m. You know. Yeah.
Yep.
All
Some
right.
people, the
Here's what
reason why I
I.
use these
Yeah.
real quick is like the reason why I use these often is there are some people that have a lot of problems setting up for dumbbell rows or barbell rows, and
Mhm.
it fatigues them in a weird way, or they just really don't like how it pulls down on them. And so this is the alternate that I'll use for a lot of people. Also
Right.
because this sucks. I don't like not in a torture way, but this really is rough on the
Yeah.
forearms and like the
Yeah.
biceps and stuff too. But it's also an
Yeah.
awesome back exercise. You can go different like widths of it, wideness, just like you can with the barbell row.
Yeah.
So like they're pretty equatable. Obviously, if you get really good at them, you want to progress past them. But for as long as you're not doing like 20 of them, yeah,
Yeah.
no, especially if you get really deep, like you don't give an incline at all to it. You get directly under that bar and you like put your feet up
Yeah.
nearly on something. Whoo, these are you can do a deficit version of these even. They're great.
Surprisingly, a lot of opinions on the inverted row. I thought it was just gonna be a drop it off and go and go next, but all right, good.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, so here's the
That's
exercise I
personal. You know what?
thought.
You know what? Actually, sorry. Guilty pleasure it. I'm sorry to
Guilty
interrupt, but I think
pleasure.
it's appropriate guilty pleasure.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, I feel it. I can feel the enthusiasm in your voice. It's worth it. So here's the exercise I thought was called back extensions. We got to remind
Yeah,
everyone that
hyperextension.
I was trained by bro lifters and have not looked back. So I'm going to be wrong on some things. And this I'm happy to be wrong because I get to learn. Hyperextension. How do you feel?
You know what? I really like them.
I don't
I
hate
don't
them. I just
know.
don't do them very often.
Yeah, I actually so I have a weird one with these. I think that there are better glute exercises, right? And there are better like lower back ham exercises for sure.
Mm,
But I think these have a particular thing about them that makes me think about like recovery and restoration. I know this might sound
yeah.
a little weird, but these I feel like these are preventative almost. Like
Mm,
S in theory, I kind of agree with Kuramaru. Like
yeah.
I do these a lot and they feel like they save me. This is like an internal thing, so maybe even guilty pleasure. I haven't looked at data on
Mm,
this, but it does feel like these have a protective effect on your lower back, and just your hips in general and stuff like
yeah.
that. Like it really feels like it's healthy for your
This
body
is
to do this motion.
if I was a fitness influencer, I guess you are a fitness influencer, but if I was a fitness
Yeah,
influencer,
kind of.
this is the part where I would bring both my hands up to my face and I would shift them back and forth a little bit. I'd look directly into the camera and go, these are really good for your longevitative health. These are really good for building
Yeah,
up the stabilization through your day to day, you know. That's the part.
yeah. No, I straight up. I feel like no, all jokes aside, this particular exercise, I feel like this is how you fight sitting down too long.
Yeah,
Like I
okay.
think this is the opposite of sitting in your chair all day. This heals you from that.
I thought the opposite was like the torture rack that they put that they would stretch you out on. But I guess that this is
Oh
much more
yeah.
reasonable, much more ethical, much more. Okay, here's coming up is the aura farming exercise, the barbell shrug.
Barbell shrugs.
I like shrugs.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done a barbell shrug. I was taught to just do dumbbells. So I don't know how you feel about
Hmm.
the differences in these.
I kind of like the trap bar shrug the best, to be honest.
Is that in here? Are we gonna get
Or
to
just
that?
Or I think
Yeah.
I don't think it's in here, but there is some trap bar exercise in here. Also
Mm.
just farmers carries as well. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
shrugs are
Yeah.
like fine. Shrugs I feel like almost have the same. This is gonna sound crazy. All right,
Mm.
this is gonna sound crazy. You can definitely flame me for this, but I feel like shrugs are the calves of the up. Like I feel like this is the calf training of the upper body.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, I
I
just
mentioned,
like it works. It's
yeah,
good. I just like I'm not personally. If I have 45 minutes in the gym, I'm not spending my time here.
yeah. I mentioned this at the start, but I don't need to work my traps to build my traps. They just grow. So I don't
Mhm.
really need to do shrugs, but I do like the mo. Like if
Yeah,
I'm sitting
yeah,
there shrugging, I do like the way it feels. I do like I feel them having an effect on me. But yeah, I'm not really, I'd put these like A, but like just like
yeah.
it feels reasonable.
I
It
mean,
seems-
yeah, because if we're talking like isolated trap training, I mean, Kurma is right. Like face pulls are going to be the S tier, I think.
mm,
But I think yeah, they're pretty good. I do feel like they're a lot like calf training, where it's like yeah, if you have the time, they're an accessory. If you
yeah,
have the time, you can absolutely do it. I think a lot of people get them wrong, where they kind of just like jack it up and down, and they're bouncing all over the place and
yeah,
using
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
momentum. Um, but yeah, I think when done properly, these work really well. They're great. I just I don't spend my time there if I have a limited amount of time. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Seal row. I've never seen anyone do it. I knew these conceptually were an exercise. I've never seen anyone do these. I've never done these. I feel like
Yeah,
slamming my face into public gym bench is a good way to catch a cough. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I think these are stinky, kind of. I'm gonna put them in C
Yeah.
tier.
Yeah, I agree. The seal roll. Look at this goofy ass dude. I feel
Look
bad
at
for
this
this
goofy.
for this 3D render.
If you raise this guy up, I think this becomes an A tier. I would argue this becomes an A tier or an S tier if you were to just raise him up 3 feet. But the
All right.
problem is that he's putting the bar down. So
Yeah.
like let's think about everything we've said about stretching the muscle and keeping tension on the muscle in every part of the lift, right? So there's an even
Mm,
curve, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, there's always tension. This does not have an even tension curve, right? You put the
yeah,
bar
yeah.
down at the bottom. It's like, yeah, it's good when you're pulling, but it's not stretching you out. This guy's not fully locked out, right? So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, if you raise this up 3 feet, this is a good exercise. But if you're just putting the bar back down on the floor, this is like the floor bench version of a row.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See people do this with plates. I've never seen that, but I can picture it and it sounds funny to me. So,
Yeah. Oh,
ooh,
actually, it's on here. Why don't let's just get this out of the right way real quick. There's two I want to, since we're talking
where
about it, can we
where is it?
top row towards the right, dumbbell floor press and barbell floor press?
Okay, so Alpin wanted me to take this out because he was gonna reference it anyway. But I had to let you guys keep this barbell floor press because it's the goofiest looking JPEG in a long list of goofy looking. I think this guy is, ladies and gentlemen. I am not an expert. I am not a fitness. I'm not like Alpin. I'm not qualified or trained. I am OSHA. I am the Canadian version of OSHA certified. Please don't on the floor do barbell floor presses. If you fuck this up, you are dead, and you are not rolling this off of you. On
True.
bench, there's so many ways to get out of a bench that goes badly. On the floor, where are you going, brother? You have created your own demise.
Yeah, can you go ahead and put this in D alongside
Yeah, yeah,
maybe the dumbbell floor press a little higher in D or in C, low
yeah,
C maybe?
yeah. I'll put that
Hey,
right.
have
We
you
need
ever
something
wanted
for
to
D.
do a bench press but then do less of it? Here you
Do
go.
lots of it. Yeah. Well, I just feel
So
nothing
Kurmari
on the
does have
on
a
the
point.
on the end of it. What is it?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's just overcome. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
but we
guess.
do have things like the pin press for that. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, there is a point here where if you're only trying to work one part of a bench press, like this is the thing though, where I feel like this is like an intermediate advanced thing. And if we're gonna rank the exercises for newer people, it's like that they're not thinking about this, and nor should they think about this.
Mhm.
But yeah, things like the pin press or something like this can be good if you're only recovering from an injury or working the top range for like a
Yeah.
lockout because you're competing and that you need to work in your top range.
Yeah.
That's great. But you're right. You get pinned by this and die. One, two. As far as a bench press goes, like as far as chest development goes, you're just doing less. Like look at the range of motion. You can lay down on the floor and try it yourself. Like on the
Yeah.
dumbbell and the floor press, you're not even getting anywhere close to near your chest on either of these because your arms are getting in the way and they're just hitting the ground. It's just a
Yeah.
worse bench press.
Yeah. It's yeah. I'm convinced I told Alpin that this should be a sticker in his Discord. I might add it as a sticker to my Discord. I think this is the funniest.
Yeah,
He looks like he's just going. He's suffering. Wait, shit, where'd I put that? It
yeah.
looks like he's suffering. That's such a
He's
funny
like,
image to
oh.
me. Yeah,
The only reason I had asked you to take it out was because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna cover this with the dumbbell
yeah,
floor
yeah.
press. It's the same
But
thing. But
no,
yeah, that's the
I
logic.
understand that. I believe that was correct, but I needed people to see this PNG. I
Fair,
needed people to
fair.
see it. All right, straight arm lat pullover.
Um, yeah, I think they're like solid. They're like
Yeah,
B.
me. You like that? Okay.
Maybe like B or A.
This
Yeah,
is
because
one of
they're
those no
not.
opinion exercises for me. Yeah, they
Yeah, no
exist.
opinion for you.
Yeah,
I think they're pretty middle of the road because,
yeah,
like, yeah, these are, you work your lats here, but again, we do already have like pull ups, right?
yeah,
And other things for that. I think these are cool. It's just one of those problems where it's like there's going to be a point here where once again, you like how to explain this, like obviously yeah, you are working a part of the like a motion of the lat that's not usually being worked and that's
yeah,
useful, but at the same time you can't load this very heavy because you have to pull it down past, right?
yeah,
And so for progression, like muscle progression, muscle size, it's like not the best thing ever. I think they're pretty good though. Like I think yeah,
yeah,
B, I think they're middle of the road. There's a reason to do these. I just think like, you know what, here's a good way to explain this. I think like advanced lifters do this, and advanced lifters
mm,
probably have a good reason to do this and should do this. I don't really think beginners should.
mm,
There's better exercises that I would like to see people start off with for beginners, right? And like early intermediates than this, but this has its place. But again, most exercises kind of do. It's kind of that thing where it's like, yeah, we make fun of the barbell floor press and stuff like that, but at the very, very high level of competition, there's sometimes a reason to do these things. And
yeah,
this is a little less than that. Like these are still good. I just think they're not the best lat thing out there, but they have a purpose for sure, especially if you're
yeah,
competing. There are some things that you would do here that you wouldn't like normally spend your time on, probably.
yeah. Like there's an exercise in here. I think we might have taken it out. We're probably gonna reference this later. But I originally thought I was like, who would ever do these? And I remember that um uh not just power lifters, not just like intermediate, like just gym goers, but like like bodybuilders and stuff, probably having used for like I think it was the woodcutter fly or something like that. I was like, this seems like a very like some
Oh
everything has a
yeah,
niche. Yeah, you know?
yeah, very niche, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Very
like who
niche,
needs
and
this
there are reasons to do
specific
that, right? If you're
yeah,
doing like very focused training or an periodization
yeah, yeah,
block in particular for your lats, like there are reasons to do things like that. But yeah,
yeah,
normally it's like if you only have an hour in the gym, right?
yeah, yeah. These next ones we're 6 months ago we're gonna be B, but I watched a proper video on them. I watched Dr. Mike teach me how to properly do these, and now they have become
Hell yeah.
my guilty pleasure, the machine row.
Yeah. Mine too. Mine too.
I once I learned how to do these correctly, I feel my entire back opening up with these. I love these now.
Yep. Yep.
I did have to watch a tutorial. I'm going to mention that, all right? I had to really like actually like pay attention to Dr. Mike. I had to cut past all the
You gotta.
homoeroticism in those videos. And I really really like machine rows now. Hello, Gub.
Yep.
Hello,
You know
Momo.
what?
Hello,
Me too. I
everybody.
think guilty pleasure is perfect because, and
Yeah.
guilty pleasure it is, right? Because on one hand, I feel like it still kind of runs into that machine problem of sometimes on a machine row, the hands
Mhm.
aren't individual motion, they're together. So you
Yeah.
could end up pulling more with one side than the other side. And that's a little bit of a downside. But guilty pleasure, I love these two. I do them all the time. Nothing
Yeah.
feels better to me than letting it pull me really far forward before I do my big row. I love them.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I watch him for the
Oh, hey, Gob.
homoeroticism. Yeah, if you guys let me I one part of this
Oh,
at
this is
one point
brave
we
of
were gonna
you.
have a doctor that's RP Fitness. Sorry, RP. This is probably my favorite exercise channel. He's a really funny guy. I
Hey, Gob.
when I was getting back into the gym after a little bit away, I asked Alpin a year ago, who do you watch now? And Alpin recommended Dr. Mike. And it's been a
Yep.
good choice. It's been a really good choice. Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty
Yeah.
much agree with almost every single thing. Like Dr. Mike's one of my like top 3 or 4. I pretty much
Yeah.
agree with every single thing he says, and frankly, he's way more qualified than I am, so I don't even have the right to say that.
Yeah.
But like, I love his stuff. I think he's awesome. I'm a big fan too of I like Will Tennyson stuff for like some general cool
Yeah.
like comedy, but also fitness and trying out unique types of fitness stuff. I
Yeah.
like Will Tennyson a lot. I think Lane Norton nutritionally is a genius. He's
Yeah.
very mean to people. He like does not
Yeah.
mess around. He makes fun of people and stuff like that, big time.
Yeah.
But he's kind of locked down on nutrition. He's kind of a
Yeah.
genius there.
Yeah.
And then I really like people like Ben Carpenter on like YouTube Shorts is really good. And
Yeah. Yeah.
obviously, what's his name? It's escaped me right now. The other one, the other one who's jacked and Canadian. Ah,
There's at least 3 Jack Canadians out there, and I'm not one of them. So what
yeah,
is
yeah. Renaissance periodization being one of them. Absolutely.
yeah.
Nippert. Thank you, Kurmar. Yes,
Yeah.
Jeff
Yeah. Yeah.
Nippert.
Nibbert's
Um,
Canadian?
yeah.
Oh,
I think
I
he's
never even
Canadian too. They're all
okay.
Canadian. That's the
Yeah.
secret.
He spends all his time down in California, like in Gold's Gym, so I just never even thought about it. But all right.
Yeah, I think he's Canadian.
I was gonna mention oh yeah, a funny story, just like I last 15-ish years of my life I've been a fan of the gym. I've been going. Um when COVID hit, I started slacking a little bit, and then I started slacking a lot. And then I was only going like 2 times a week max before I
Mhm.
started watching Alpin before Alpin came on the scene. Alpin motivated me to start going harder again, up from 2,
Aw.
sometimes 1, sometimes 2, up to 4 times a week. And the last year, I've been very consistent. I took a little bit of time off in January because Canadian winters are kind of
That's
brutal, and walking to the
okay.
gym in a
That's
blizzard is.
okay.
So thank you, Alpin. But thank you for
Aw.
motivating me to go back
Love
hard.
you,
But
buddy.
a year ago, when I really when I was starting to feel the motivation again, I started to look into all the YouTube channels that I used to watch for fitness. It turns out that it's not just Minecraft YouTubers that go insane after a decade.
Yeah,
Almost everyone I used to watch is either insane or dead right now. And I'm like,
I wonder why.
yeah.
I wonder if there's some factor that might have affected that in the fitness world, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, I wonder what Elliot Holson's up to these days. He used to be really great for motivating me. Oh, he's just insane. He's just a
Oh,
psychopath
cool. Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Oh,
He
he's
just runs a
crazy.
cult. Yeah. So anyway. Yeah, that's he so Alvin recommended it. A lot of people have been watching it. Dr. Mike was one of them. And so
Yeah, Dr. Mike's
that's our
great.
machine row section. Yeah.
Yep, next machine row. Put it next to the other one. It's good. Yay.
Right, all the way up. Yeah. I would put this in
Yeah,
S.
I mean, like,
but
it's not a guilty pleasure for either of us, so we probably can't
yeah,
put it there, but it's good.
yeah.
I don't want to put it S, but I would put it like A, high A.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that a lot. Yeah.
I
I
think
feel
cables just can be tough sometimes because of the stability problem.
yeah,
But
yeah,
more so for pushing than pulling.
yeah. I just don't feel as locked in on the cable row as I do in the machine row. I feel like I'm
Yeah,
fighting gravity like side to side more than I am on a, you
totally.
know. Yeah.
That's why it's lower. There's very few And this is the thing with cables in general and instability in general. There's very few times where a cable is going to be superior, and the times
Mm,
where it's going to be superior are going to be the times when a machine does not have that motion, or a free
yeah.
weight does not have that motion with a proper like tension curve. So like lateral raises being a great example, which we'll get to
Mm,
later. But or any sort of like crossover cable thing. But like yeah, for rows, it's like we have rows already, right? It's like
yeah.
these are the rows at home. Cables generate instability inherently, and instability stops you from recruiting maximum strength.
Mm.
Therefore, it also means you don't grow as much most of the time. So it's like, yeah, it's nice. You can go behind the back. That's great. You can do that with the machine row too. You can do that with
Yeah.
dumbbell row as well. Just adding instability generally never works. That's why whenever you see someone squatting like a Bosu ball, like Hollywood trainers or something,
Yeah.
that's kind of just a sign you know they're dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, how do Hollywood fitness trainers get away with it? I don't understand. I don't.
Steroids.
I steroid. Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, what
The
they're doing, I
single.
think,
Oh,
is this is my guess. I don't know this, right? But I've seen plenty of Hollywood trainers who don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're doing.
self-report.
They have
Yeah.
terrible workout plans, and
Yeah.
somehow all their clients get more jacked than everyone else in the world. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
the reason they're being paid $10,000 a month for training these celebrities is because they're giving them steroids.
Yeah. Yeah. I steroids is obvious. Steroids, yes, 100% yes. Because
Yeah,
I feel like you don't lose anything if you're public, like if what you're showing to the world is a proper, correct, non-ball related exercise. Plus, also you're secretly giving your celebrity steroids, right? But I always see
yeah.
steroids plus jack shit insane exercise routines that they're clearly not actually doing. Like I don't
Oh
like
yeah.
what do they benefit from showing the public like, oh, we do this super special secret thing that you've never heard of before. And it's like,
Yeah.
why? What do you get out of this? I don't.
Two things. I could actually explain it. So, being a trainer myself, right? So, one is like the appeal of the secret knowledge, right? It's like that same
Right.
thing you'll see ads for where they're like, this ancient Chinese medicine that doctors don't want you to
Yeah.
know about, right?
Yeah.
Secret knowledge really attracts people, right? It makes people be like,
Yeah.
oh, wow,
Yeah.
they know something I don't. The second big one, trainers justifying their own job. And this is a big problem in public gyms as well.
Oh yeah.
And what I mean
Yeah.
by that is like, it's unfortunate for trainers as a career, but the reality is scientifically, and if you're being honest and you're being moral about it, the best thing to do as a trainer and the best thing to do as someone who's working out is to get really good at a few big exercises and do them over and over and over again for many months at a time, right?
Mm.
But obviously, selling that to a normal population makes it feel like you're doing nothing at all. Because if all you're doing is you program something for somebody, right? And then they're going to do that for the next 3 months, why do they even need you? And so
Yeah.
a lot of it is trainers justifying their own existence via using these routines that are hyper dynamic and constantly changing, even if it's not the most efficient thing for somebody, right? So, like, it might not be the best thing to have the client grow their muscle to do that. But if the client doesn't know what their workout routine is, then they'll
Mm.
definitely feel like they need the personal trainer, right? So,
Yeah.
some of it is actually just justifying their own existence. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that in a negative, like, I'm not saying that in an intentional way, right? A lot of
Yeah.
trainers are just kind of taught by the boss of the gym. They don't know the science themselves. They're told what to do. They think it's
Yeah.
best. They think they're doing the best, right? And they
Yeah.
give it out to people. And on top of it, another factor is also on the side of the person being trained, right? Sometimes people get bored by doing the same thing over and over again. And so you
Mm.
keep it dynamic so it's exciting for them, even if it's not the most efficient thing, because them
Okay.
coming
Okay.
into the gym matters more. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of reasoning, but yeah, that's why. It's sorry for the
Yeah.
rant.
Of all those, I understand. I agree with the last point the most. Keeping getting
Mhm.
them into the gym is even I have to like spruce things up every once in a while. Just the other
Sure.
day,
Yeah.
I felt strong but unmotivated, so I decided to just get as close to my bench PR as I could, and that meant that my entire gym workout was just benching. And it
Hell
felt
yeah.
great, and I can't recommend you do that because my
Yeah.
entire like upper body was shot for the next day. But it got me in the gym that day, and that's what matters. So
Yep. Yeah, just a
okay.
PSA to everyone. If you ever hire a trainer in a gym and they take you through some sort of circuit, like if you tell, I'll say this, I'd be willing to put my name behind this. If you tell a trainer at the gym that your goal is to build muscle, if you tell
Mm,
them, my goal is to build as much muscle as possible, as fast as possible, right? And then they give you some sort of crazy circuit workout where you're jumping between a bunch of different machines and you're resting for 30 seconds at a time and you're doing like 20 different things in a workout dynamically. You have a bad trainer.
Yeah, yeah,
They don't know what they're doing, basically, or they're not allowed to do what they want to do.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. It feels like a lot, especially if you go to like a big brand gym. It feels like the trainers aren't allowed to get. I'm gonna use a phrase here. Aren't allowed to really get that freaky with it. You know?
They aren't. No, and that's another
Yeah,
thing is like sometimes it's not even their fault. It's the rules of the gym, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I've had that happen, and that's one of the reasons why I went independent. Was one of the gyms that I was originally working with. The owner of that gym was very, the program that he had was based in some very old bro science from back in the 80s and 90s
yeah, yeah,
from bodybuilders back then, because that's when he obviously got all of his experience. And we just had new information now. So
yeah.
things were being taught that weren't exactly scientific. And I was like, yeah, I can't. I mean, we were like, it went as crazy sometimes as we were like typing people's diet based on their blood, like blood types and stuff like that. Like it was some real dumb stuff.
Like it feels like something the Japanese would do, like just constantly asking each
Yeah,
other their
you know
blood
what?
types.
It was fun fact. They invented it.
Oh, classic. All right,
Yeah.
single arm dumbbell row, probably lower than the other rows, I imagine. It feels like
I
you could be
mean,
working both halves at once. You could be saving some time here.
again, if you have infinite time, yeah, it might be a
Yeah,
little better. It's the Meadows row. Put an A. It's just the Meadows row,
yeah, right,
right?
right here.
Where it's
Yeah,
like, yeah, if you
true.
have the time, that's great. I also hope you have an enormous, like, huge weight for that dumbbell, right? If you're rowing
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot. I hope you have access to 100-pound dumbbells because you're going to need them.
All right, here's Kuromaru has already gone straight to bat for these face pulls.
I would too.
I
They're great. S tier.
They're great. I never do
Yep,
them.
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
They're awesome though, for sure.
yeah. I recognize their value, their worth. I just feel like a dork. I feel like I'm not
Yeah.
farming aura when I'm doing. Not that that's an important part of the workout, but I just feel like personally sort of weirded out by doing these. I don't know why. I
You have
don't
to
know.
imagine yourself like going into mantis mode when you do it, or like tiger mode, right? Where you're like, you kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
stance up and you're going like, like you're going to
yeah,
attack. That's what you got to imagine
yeah,
yourself like. Like you're a
yeah.
creature ready to strike.
Yeah. So yeah, sometimes when I really need to lift a heavy weight, like I really need to, I do the weird weeb version of like the world record the world record deadlift where it's just like if I don't lift this, my family's gonna die. For me, it's if I
Yeah,
don't lift
yeah,
this, Luffy's never gonna get the One Piece. He's not gonna be king of the pirates. Ah!
exactly. You gotta.
You gotta. Okay.
Whenever I bench,
Everyone's
whenever I
everyone
bench, I think about that one scene where Goku pushes back Cooler's big bomb during the movie.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do. Because he's super jacked in that scene because he's all pumped up because it's still like early Frieza Saga DBZ.
Yeah.
So he's super shredded, super big. He's not like scrawny or anything like that. And bro
Yeah.
just pushes like you just see the back muscles going.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just benching that. He's basically push/benching that
Yeah.
big destruction orb. That's
Yeah.
what I think about when I bench press.
Um, one of Kanye's best songs. Good morning. How you feeling? I I don't do these very often. I don't. I recognize their worth. I understand, but I'm not.
Mhm.
I'm not huge on these. I don't know how you feel.
I think these are like great. I think they're awesome. High A, only
I
beaten by the RDL. For hamstrings, I think, only beaten by the
yeah
RDL.
yeah. Put that right there. No, I'm putting them above hammer curls. I've already expressed my dislike of hammer curls. I'm putting them right up there.
So for
Explain.
those who don't know, a good morning is when you're starting at the top, basically. So you go into a squat position, you're starting at the top. Rather than squatting, you're basically doing the reverse of a deadlift. So you're keeping your back straight, right? You're sticking your butt back. You're not bending at the knees too much, and you're going all the way down, kind of like laterally, until you feel an insane stretch in your hamstrings, and then you're popping back up by kind of thrusting forward, much like a deadlift, and squeezing your glutes at the top. So good mornings are awesome. I think RDLs are maybe a little better. They're both amazing. Eight
Mm,
S tiers, A tier, S
yeah.
tiers. Yeah, hip hinge.
I don't know whether to put the
Oh,
the classic flat bench press
the
into
classic.
guilty pleasure or not, because it's I, hmm, it feels like it doesn't have to be a guilty pleasure. I feel like I would put it middle S tier because I just love them that much, and I think they're great. I think everyone should bench. But I guess I'll shove this into guilty pleasure. I don't know. I know you
Yeah, I
have
think
opinions about dumbbells versus bar though.
I do, and this one especially because of the one that we have here coming up.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
flat bench is amazing, right? It's one of the best.
yeah,
It's one of the exercises of all time, right?
yeah,
Obviously.
yeah, yeah.
I would
Um,
say if we could only pick one S tier per muscle group or
yeah.
something,
You go
I'd
for
have to high
incline.
A the bench press,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'd have to put the incline at S.
All right, let's talk about both of these together because they're both great, and we should
Yes.
take a moment to explain the difference between a dumbbell and a bench because it does matter. One,
Yep.
with dumbbell, you are probably bringing the dumbbells lower past your chest on the
Exactly.
decline, which is great for stretch. But my gym, this is another one of those gym things. The highest I can go on dumbbell is 75, which means that's
Sure.
about like half of what I need. So I have to
Right.
bar, and I like bar a lot because I have fond memories of bar benching. So even on incline, I have to bar, and it feels good to me. I like it a lot.
Oh, totally.
So
I kind of agree because I prefer the bench press with the barbell.
yeah,
I mean, I've told you I prefer a close grip bench press. That's my favorite exercise of all time.
Mhm.
But if I'm talking about data, if I'm talking about like what the science says,
Yeah,
it seems to be the case that maybe the best chest exercise that exists is the incline dumbbell press.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Based on the fact that obviously the incline, we're going to have more activation basically of like upper chest when we're doing this
Mhm.
too, that we normally don't hit as much, but it also equally hits the mid chest and just as well as all the other bench presses, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it just seems to be a little bit better, not in a really significant way. But if you had to pick one chest exercise, this is probably the one you want to do.
yeah.
So I'm
Objectively,
like, yeah,
yeah. If guilty pleasure did exist, objectively, bench press would probably be like number one A tier, no matter what for me. And then
yes, yes,
objectively, I would view incline dumbbell press as being above that. But this is why I like the
exactly,
guilty pleasure one because bench press gets me into the gym,
totally.
every other workout.
It
So
gets everyone in.
yeah, yeah,
Listen, the world's favorite exercise is the bench press. I would argue
yeah,
that.
yeah,
That's the world's favorite exercise, all right?
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I always for my clients, right? A lot of my clients can only be in the gym for like an hour or an hour and
yeah,
30 minutes. I'll have them. I pretty much always program them with incline dumbbell press as their chest
yeah.
movement, unless there's a reason not to, because it's kind of like the one,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know what this is. No, no, I do. Okay, I was reading this as
That's
dips flutter. I was this is dips flutter kick. No, no, I do know what a dip is. A regular dip. How we
just a regular dip. They're great. They're awesome. A
yeah.
tier.
Yeah. Did we have a different? Where
Yeah,
would
I'm
you
surprised
put it
another dip
compared to?
got through. I think we might have missed that one.
We might have missed that one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah, dips
interested.
are
But
awesome.
yeah,
Bangers.
yeah,
Some people won't feel good on these, though. I will say that some people will have like mobility issues, right? Because the
yeah,
idea with the dip and the problem with the dip is that you have to get really, really deep for it to have the best effect, right?
mm,
But some people don't have the shoulder mobility for that starting off.
yeah,
In fact, most people. So it's not as useful until you have that mobility as some of the
yeah,
other chest exercises. So train it for
yeah,
sure. But if you can't get down wicked deep, like you see that guy getting, like his
yeah,
arms are that far back, shoulders that far up. If you
mm,
can't do that yet, maybe wait
yeah.
before making it your main chest movement.
Yeah. Another thing to consider is if you don't have the perfectly sized dip machine for you, like if you
Oh
are
God,
not
yeah,
a typical human, you can feel the dip machine kind of hurting you in strange ways. Like for me,
yeah,
there's two dip machines, not dip machines, two dip platforms in my gym. One of them I can use because it's just wide enough, but the other one I could do the motion, but my wrists are not in a fun way, are
totally,
destroyed on it.
totally.
So, that mileage might
Yep,
vary. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you don't want these too wide. That's a big
Yeah,
thing. You really don't want these too wide.
yeah. The classic, mankind's first exercise aside from cardio. I would argue the push-up.
Yep, with
How are we
right there with
feeling?
Diamond. They're our best friends.
Where did we put Diamond? Right, right there.
It
Yeah,
was like, hey, yeah, right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not a lot to say about this. Just keep doing them until you can, I guess. Yeah, they're fantastic exercise, but it's like uh, I'm not gonna do them aside from if I need a little bit of a pump before a shower, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
machine chest
Oh,
fly.
my. It's a guilty pleasure
I
for me.
It's
It
a guilty
really
pleasure.
is.
Okay, for me, this would be extremely high A tier, possibly guilty pleasure, because if I do
Mhm.
these right after my normal bench routine, which is flat bench and then a weaker incline bench, if I do these right after that and I really squeeze at the top, that's the only time I'm feeling anything in my
Yep.
chest.
I think you and I are built the same, Scab. I think
Yeah,
you and I are probably built exactly the same because that's exactly what I do too.
yeah,
I think these are awesome accessories. If you had to pick one chest exercise, don't pick this one. That's why it's
yeah,
guilty pleasure for me.
yeah,
It's one of those things where it's like the science says these aren't that good, but guilty pleasure because these are my favorite, bro.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
feel great doing these.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so yeah,
This
only
next,
time I can feel my chest. I
yeah,
think they're amazing, but
yeah,
objectively, they're not the best. If don't make them your main chest movement, that's what I would say.
yeah. Uh, I don't do these not because they're not good, but because I always look like a goddamn idiot fool trying to get myself in position. Here's the decline bench press. I don't know how you feel about this from a science perspective.
It's okay. You know what? I almost say put it in B because it's awkward. It's good.
Yeah, yeah, I
It's
agree.
good.
Yep,
It's just like having to deal with that and unrack that and stuff
yeah,
is really kind weird.
yeah. And having and
It's really weird.
if you don't have like a bench for these, if you're trying to set these up in like a power rack, you are not getting it right the first 3 times. You're getting on it, you're awkwardly
Yeah.
getting underneath the bar, you're getting awkwardly off the bar, you're adjusting. I hate these. It slows down your exercise. It's not fun.
Yeah.
You don't look good doing it, so it's not like you're flexing to the homies in the gym.
Oh, Kurmar wants me to tell you about suicide grip.
Oh no, I suicide grip flat and incline because it makes
Preferably
my wrist feel better.
reversed.
What do you mean reverse suicide grip? Wait.
Yeah, the reverse, the kill yourself motion, the guillotine we call
I
it.
see. Yeah. Yeah. I'll suicide grip flat bench sometimes because it makes my wrist feel better. But if you don't have
Yeah.
giant hands, that mileage might
Yeah, don't
vary
do
on that. Yeah.
that. Unless it's a weight you really know you can control, don't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah, not a
yeah,
beginner motion.
I think the thing about the decline bench is I've seen it in studies compared to the incline and the flat bench, and it
Mm.
like wasn't any better. So it was kind of
Okay.
like
Yeah.
there's really no reason to do this.
Yeah.
But it's good. It works. It's great. It's just not any better. So why do the extra? Like why go
Yeah.
through a lot of the extra motion, right?
My grip is the only part of me I truly believe in. Got amazed. Gotta. All right. I don't do these because I feel awkward doing them, but I understand their worth. This is another one of those. The dumbbell fly. I don't know how you feel.
I don't think they're great, actually.
You
I
don't
think
think
they're
they're
like
oh,
low B,
interesting.
maybe. They're like C or low
Interesting.
B.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them over the decline for sure. Because
I
I
just
feel
maybe not that low. I don't know. I'm kind of
yeah.
opposed to them, but it's only because of the alternatives, right? Like
Yeah,
it
we
still
could be
works. It's
doing
still
machine
pretty
chest fly
solid.
right now.
Not even that. Like we could be doing cable too. In
Yeah,
this
yeah.
case, because
Which
like
is coming
if you
up.
think about the tension curve on this,
Yeah,
right? It's hard at the bottom, which is good. Well, you want it to be hard at the bottom. That's awesome.
yeah,
But once you get most of the way up, it's not about your chest anymore. You're just holding out weight in front of you
yeah.
at the top, right? You're just kind of holding out weight like you just bench pressed it. And so there's no squeeze at the top. So like, yeah, they're fine, but I think the others are kind of better.
Yeah. Here comes the exercise that always makes me feel like Wolverine. Always makes me feel like I've just popped out
Mhm.
of the vat and
Oh
I'm ready to
hell
tear
yeah!
apart some
Here we
scientists.
go.
Yeah, these the cable flies. These are great. These are one of those exercises where if you just need to wake up, if you need to like, if that coffee didn't hit right, pop on the cable flies, my dude. You'll feel
Yeah,
like a
yeah, kind
man's
of.
man. Yeah,
This is one
but
of the few times I like cables. This is one of the
yeah,
few times I'm like, yeah, cables aren't the worst actually.
yeah. How do you feel about these
I
on the
You know what? Okay, because of the
top?
niche applications, here's the thing.
Hmm,
I'm gonna give it a catch-all, and we're gonna give it like a let's give it an A. Let's give it a low A, but
okay.
only because I'm including every variation, right? Only because
So,
every single variation of the cable fly
yeah,
comes in here. And the nice thing about it versus a lot of the others is
yeah,
here, obviously you have that instability problem that we talked about earlier, and that is a negative. But
yeah,
considering what this is, we don't really have an alternative for it that's better
yeah.
because anything else gravity is a problem and makes it so you're not in line with the muscle. But the
Uh,
nice thing about these is that because of the cable machines they're on, you can increment them at any angle, which means you can hit literally any angle. You can come
yeah,
from above and come in, you
yeah, yeah,
come from underneath and up, any variation of side. So I
yeah.
think just because of all the variations, these are pretty good.
Son Albanus with the realest first time chat I've ever read in my life. Whenever I
Oh, hey,
do any
son.
kind of dumbbell fly, I imagine I'm Spider Man stopping the train.
Yeah.
If that's not real as fuck.
Yeah, that's the cable fly, I feel like, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
got to be the cable
That's me
fly
in the
he's
cable fly.
referring
Yeah,
to. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Um,
There it is.
there it is. Smith machine bench press, and it's the
There it
weird
is.
half Smith machine where you can't even really adjust your if you're trying to squat it with it. It's not even like the full. I don't know. I mean, they're theoretically safer if you're a newbie, I think. I don't know. I don't like these. I don't like the Smith machine. And not just from like a gym
Yeah, I kind of
bro
argue.
perspective, but
No, I kind of argue they're almost more dangerous for beginners because they teach bad habits, especially with the squat. I like
so real
never
for
ever
this.
want to hear that somebody started squatting on a Smith machine. That's like the worst thing I could ever hear. Because if I
Yeah,
give them a
yeah,
real ball or bar, they'll fall over. So
yeah. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I think Smith. It's a tool at a new lower tier, says
yeah.
Kurimaru. It's a tool in the chest,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
there are times when doing a Smith bench press can make sense. I don't even want to put it in D. I'll put it in C.
Okay.
I'll put it in C. There are
Well,
times when doing a Smith bench
yeah,
press makes sense, where it's like,
yeah.
yeah, you're training for a particular thing. Maybe you want to get used to handling heavier weights because usually people can
Mm,
bench more on this, right? Maybe you're training a very specific thing. Most of the time, you prefer free weights to this.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like it can teach some bad
yeah.
habits, but
I
I think
can
it's
I
yeah,
can see how some people would be able to lift heavier weights with this, but for me, the real adrenaline rush is the fear of having to bail out of a bench and having everyone look at what the fuck I'm doing as the weight slams. If
yeah,
I
fair,
imagine that in
fair.
my head, I am able to get an extra 10% strength easy. Able to,
Yep.
yeah,
I think this exercise gets better the more experienced you are.
yeah,
Like I think the
okay,
Smith machine bench press is straight up like this is if you're a beginner and it's your first day in the gym, this is a D tier exercise.
yeah,
If you have been in the gym for 10 years, this could maybe be like a situational B or A tier.
yeah. The exercise with the weird cult following, especially on certain
Oh yeah, these are hard.
now deceased image boards. Weirdly, I always growing up I thought everyone hated these because of infomercials, because anything that appeared in an infomercial I was taught was bad. But apparently
Mhm.
these are beloved. I've never really done them, but
Yeah, they're actually really good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. How do you feel?
I would say high B for a
IB?
very specific reason. So I think these are great. These are actually awesome. An incredible
Hmm.
workout. The ab wheel is a scary invention, a small $2 wheel, and absolutely torches your body.
Yeah.
What I will say is that that's cool. It's probably not worth the 6 months it's going to take for you to train to do one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel that. The American football players, our high school football players, dreaded mountain climber. I've only
Oh
seen high
yeah,
school students do this. I've always seen them hate their lives while doing this. That and running up and down
yeah.
hills, I believe. Um,
Yeah, so we're in this category of lifts coming up here for a few that I would call stretching.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Yeah.
I left these in here because if I will say this, listen, and this is the big caveat for all the like zero workout or zero equipment workouts and stuff like that. This goes for
Yeah.
everything pretty much here. Actually, never mind. No, the absolute next one's actually a banger. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
are a couple others. But for any of these, like you're on the ground moving around motions, for the vast majority of them, just pick up some weights. You're wasting
Yeah.
your time. Straight
Yeah.
up. These are cardio workouts. These do not build muscle. They're cardio
Mm-hmm.
workouts.
Mm-hmm.
So for the purpose of muscle building, like most of these are D. Straight up.
Rosity. Yeah. Okay.
Great cardio. Awesome warm-ups. Not building muscle efficiently. However, cable crunches are actually like one of the best ab exercises out there and maybe A tier or S tier.
Oh yeah. We're putting these up. Oh, your cable crunch is one of those exercises where you feel like a dork doing them, but you sort of if you want those abs, you're gonna you're gonna have to get used
Yep.
to it. You're gonna have to negative or a maximum stat exercise. I think the cable crunch is. I
Yeah, and you have to go into the fetal position. Like I don't
yeah
even want to see like you need to be curled over actually going down to the like praying on the floor to get these to be really good. But they
yeah
are actually very very efficient. Like if I could pick two ab workouts ever to do, I'd actually pick cable crunch and I would
Mhm.
pick hanging leg raise. Those would be my two.
Yeah.
So if I could pick two S tiers there, I would pick those. But yeah, high
I
A
would
for that.
do you want these up in S? I can put them up in S.
No, keep that one at high A because I
Yeah.
would go hanging leg raises.
I
What
would yeah,
leg raises? Oh my god.
I would put this one above, at the very least, above Cable Crunch because to me it's funner to
That's an
do.
S.
Yeah, that's an S.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
an S.
S feels right for that
It's an
for hanging
incredible
leg raise.
workout. Yep.
Yeah,
Best in slot. Best
yeah,
in slot workout.
yeah. If you want to, even if you're not very what's the word I'm looking for, like calisthenic, doing a couple of hanging leg raises just feels good. It just
It does, yeah.
yeah, it's
No, it's an
it's a real
incredible lower
motivator.
ab exercise. It's
Yeah.
it's it's just great in general. It also, like you're kind of hanging and hanging's always good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you can even do the variation. Like you don't need to do this. You can do the variation too where you're supported on your arms, where your
Mm.
back's locked in on the little like when you get in the mech suit one. You could do that too. That's fine. But yeah, hanging leg raises are
I
bangers.
know
Absolute
what
S tier. Yeah, studies have shown that too, actually.
I've never heard it referred to the Mexican one, but I know exactly what platform you're
Yep,
talking
yep.
about. Get off my ship, you bitch.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, son, where's the leg press, bench press warm up workout? Oh, we took that out. It was there.
Yeah.
I
It
saw
was
it.
there, yeah. I see people doing this with medicine balls, and I never understood
Yeah,
what they were doing really, but it
that's a great
makes
stretch.
it's a great stretch. Put it in D.
Awesome stretch.
Yeah.
No, I think that one
Uh
can go a little higher with the medicine ball because
yeah.
if you have a medicine ball, you're actually like loaded, right? So
Yeah,
this could be good for the obliques.
yeah.
So you know what? Actually, because it's so hard to hit them, go B tier on this.
Okay.
Also, ad started, I think.
Are we in ads? Yeah, probably. Let me we can do our oh I know. While we're waiting for ads, we can do our third and final mystery meal order. This is
Ooh, all right.
my favorite bit. My
Should we just
favorite.
wait until ads are done to do it though?
Yeah. We'll save it. We'll save it for
Yeah, we'll hang out.
this one's gonna be the this one's gonna be torturous for you. I'm very excited.
Oh
You
no. How
guys,
can it get worse than the last one?
I'll explain the oh you're gonna find out. I'll explain the bit. So I've been giving Alpin random meals that he has to either hand off to his roommates or consume himself. He can only once he's locked in, he's locked in. He can't move him around. Uh, I made him pick very normal, like salads, very
Mhm.
normal. He picked right. I think he got round two was pretty good for him, and then the round one was the most normal one. He got good. I would have. Oh, it's hard. Cheeseburger versus rib would have been tough for me, but I think he got the rest of these pretty good. Maybe the entire
Yeah, I
ice cream
like going
cake,
all meat there.
not ideal, but um, since ads automatically ran because I wasn't paying attention, I don't know when they're going to end. So if someone who
I have
has
it up.
ads,
It's a minute 30. I'm actually
minute 30,
watching them right now, which is helpful.
okay, we go through another exercise and do that easy peasy.
Yeah,
Another
sure.
couple of stretches because we already know where the majorities of these are going to go. I think
Yeah,
I don't like
yeah.
sit
I mean,
ups.
like,
I'm top
yeah,
heavy, which means I
sit-ups,
got to find
crunches are
something. Yeah,
they're a little better. Maybe put them in
yeah.
C. Sit-ups and
Let's see.
crunches.
Yeah, yeah. If I'm
Weighted
doing
is always
either of
better
these,
here.
yeah, I have to really find something to weigh down my feet because I'm so top heavy. I'm just like
Yep.
legs are raising. Why are my
Yeah, I
legs
gotta stick
raising?
them under something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The flutter kick.
Incredible stretch, right in D tier.
Right, indeed here. Yeah. Why are you swimming on land? Just go in the pool. Why are
Yeah,
you?
look at all that weight look at all that weight and tension you're loading on your legs
Yeah.
because of the what 10 pounds on that your
Yeah.
legs are or something.
Bicycle crunch. Why are you trying to bike on land? Just go on a bicycle. I don't.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I think
These next.
especially I like the idea of putting the bicycle crunch like lower than the crunch
Yeah.
because you're not even focusing at that point. It's like, yeah, you're not you're trying
Yeah.
to do two things at once. It's yeah.
Yeah. These next couple are the big ones. These are the reputation destroyers. I think
Oh
you're
yeah. We're back in 5 seconds, by the way.
right. Okay.
We'll
Okay.
just
Okay. So
explain what we've done.
yeah. All right. So, I am getting Alpin to rate foods, and he has to hand them out to his roommates or consume. But once he's handed them out or picked them for himself, he can't go back. So this is canon. Alpin would prefer ice cream cake. Or no, I'm just kidding. This is just this was where he ran the gambit. This is where he lucked out. He locked in prime
Oh
rib
yeah, I got real lucky.
over some of these, and then for the second one you locked in Caesar salad over what I think would have been the dark horse, the unethically sourced Hazmat goo. I
Yeah,
think
but I
that would
can't
have
eat
been,
that. That's getting injected into me. What's that
yeah,
about?
yeah.
I want to chew.
I think no, I like to think that it's like a syringe of like icing, right? It's in a syringe, but you just sort of dunk it in your
Oh,
mouth. Yeah, yeah,
okay, all right.
yeah. I didn't know how best to represent black ooze. I think a splotch would have been weird. It's not very servable. I think this form factor is the best.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, the has goo. That makes
yeah.
sense.
Is that in
I'm
every
okay with the
Mystery
Caesar
Box?
salad
Unfortunately
though.
not.
Like,
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah, yeah. All right. So round three, meal 11, Minecraft chicken.
Uh,
And it's
you mean like Minecraft? Like, is it
like it's blocky. It's in front of you. It is chicken. You can consume it. It is a rotisserie.
is it just pixelated? Like, it does it have the
I don't
same
know.
macros and taste?
It's Minecraft chicken, bro. Make a choice.
Uh,
I will.
like,
There are
okay,
no salads coming up. I will tell you that. So I promise
okay.
that um there are possibly better options. I'm not trolling you on that part.
Yeah, I mean that's a confusing one for me because like I'm not visually based. So if this is just effectively a whole rotisserie chicken,
Mm.
I'd lock it in right away.
Thanks,
But
thanks, thanks, Cellfox for the sub. Appreciate it. Okay. All right.
let me go second. Let me go second.
Second.
While
Okay.
this is good, I don't know if I trust the Minecraft chicken.
Minecraft chicken. Okay.
Yeah,
Right there. All right.
but I'll lock in
Number
the next thing
two.
I'm confident on.
The IHOP Lord of the Rings breakfast spread. You get everything here. You get
One.
one. Are you
One.
sure about this? Because there are some
Lock it
options coming
in.
up. Log it in. Okay. Okay.
I don't
Just
want to risk
no,
it.
just to remind everyone, behold the riches of Smog's lair. Welcome back
Oh,
to
I
Middle
am.
Earth, where a fortune of flavors awaits you. Oh, how I wish we could go back to Bilbo's
Oh,
breakfast feast, Smog's fire burger.
I get all these, right?
Yeah, yeah, you get all these. You get all these.
Yeah,
This
that's
is cheat day
number
for
one.
you.
Number one.
Okay, okay, okay,
Wait,
okay, okay.
wait, wait.
Wait, wait.
Hold on. Can I ask one question?
Right.
By any chance, is there a all you can eat Brazilian grill coming?
No, no, there's not.
Okay,
I don't
I'm
even know
locking this in.
what is a Brazilian grill? You're gonna have to. I don't even know what that is.
So there's these steakhouses that are like called like Brazilian grills or Brazilian steakhouses.
Right.
It's like a genre. It's not like a restaurant name. And they're all you can eat places where they just keep giving you meat as long as you get like a card.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's you can either do like it's red light, green light, but if you keep it
Right.
on green, they just keep bringing you meat constantly.
Okay. Okay.
So
I fuck with that.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that. All
Yeah,
right.
that
Coming
would
up.
be. I just wanted to make sure, just in case.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy with the smog spread
Yeah.
because it's everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Coming up. The
Oh shit.
2,600 calorie Baskin Robbins
I know this
Baskin
one.
Oreo chocolate shake.
Yeah, I know
Uh,
this one. All right, put that in
Containing
5.
possibly seafood somehow.
Maybe crustaceans.
Maybe
Yeah, put that in
Who
5.
knows? Put that in 5, yeah.
The thing is, it would taste great. It's just like,
Yeah.
hold on, isn't it 2,800 something?
This image, I think this might be
2,600.
yeah, 2,600. Yeah, this is in a 32-ounce serving.
Yep.
No, this was real.
So as
This
far
is
as
real.
I know, yes, this is real. Yes, I've seen
Yeah.
this before.
Yeah.
I've looked it up before on stream. Yeah, this is real.
Yeah. A lot of these are things that I've
Watch
always
your
wanted
drinks,
to try,
kids.
but yeah. Yeah, just like I'm not a dietitian. I'm a bit bigger than your average like chuma. Like I'm a dirty bulker, like for good or for worse. Most of my calorie intake is energy drinks. Guys, watch your liquids. You can absolutely just be careful about liquids, guys, please. If there's one thing I can impart
Could you
upon
eat
you.
one of these? Ooh, could you eat one of these every 2 days and survive? Yes, but you would eventually die from malnutrition, probably.
Yeah, I imagine you would be living in hell as you. Yeah, those would not be fun bowel movements.
Yeah, things would start going very wrong after a month or
Okay.
so.
Okay, coming up, the lemonade that kills you.
Oh, hell yeah. 4.
4? Yeah. Yeah. If anyone remembers this story from like a year ago, this is the lemonade from where was that? Pita no,
Panera
not Pita
Bread.
Bread. Panera Bread, yeah. This is the one that accidentally has like 4 times the recommended caffeine. And it just
Yeah, I
kills
have a theory about this.
I would love to hear it.
I have a so this was Panera Bread's charge lemonade, and I have a theory. I'm working on a theory about this. I think what happened. My guess is that okay. So when you go to like Panera, when you go to like fast food places, right? Like they have their sizing. They have their small, medium, large, extra large, big gulp cups, right? I bet you what happened was because people don't know anything about like caffeine and limits or anything like that. I bet they just didn't tell the employees anything and just stocked it, right? But didn't like have a consideration about changing the sizing. So people could just straight up be like, yeah, let me get the big gulp version. And then ended up consuming like 800 milligrams of caffeine, right? I just think there was they probably just didn't tell the employees and didn't have like separate sizing for it. That's my theory.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, final thing. Any guesses? This is the me pick. If you guys haven't picked up on that one yet.
Oh yeah, I don't know. What's a good final food here? We do have a couple drinks. Can I ask the category to guess it? Can I ask the category of food it is?
It's close your eyes for a second. I can't actually remember what this is.
Okay, I'm closing my eyes.
Oh right, yeah, okay. It's not a drink.
Not a drink.
Yeah, it's a solid. Definitely solid. It's the most solid thing we've interacted with yet.
Oh, is it the round meal?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's spicy. Yeah, it's spicy. It's you're gonna get your minerals from this one. It's a solid mass here.
Is it uranium?
It is in fact the 20 billion calorie block of uranium. You're gonna pass this off to one of your roommates. A gram of uranium is roughly 20 billion calories.
I guess I gotta.
Yeah. Lock this into 3 right there. All right.
I like you. Someone was like, "It's spicy," and you were like, "It's dense," and I was like, "It's uranium." I know it's uranium.
This is yeah. How do you feel about this one? I felt like for the third and final one, I'd get pretty silly. I
still won.
Yeah, you still won. You won all 3. That's crazy.
I still won.
Yeah, that's the small.
Yeah, can we get a
I
look at
wish
what
we
I'm
could go
getting here?
back.
Can we get a close up? I
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
I need to salivate.
Well, let me see. I believe those two.
Zoom in on that one there.
This is why if you guys do an A-form presentation, please learn how to use Photoshop or Clip Studio. It's the best for this. It's
Scab, you've given me
look
an
at that.
idea for a stream that I'm gonna do. You've given me an idea. I'm gonna
Bless up.
straight just do a stream of me like salivating over menus. I'm gonna do a stream where I just look at menus and I'm like,
Yes,
oh, look
sir.
at that, and we're just gonna
Yes, sir.
talk it up like it's like women.
Yeah. Uh, Bard's breakfast feast. Unfortunately, I've stretched this image out a couple of times, so we've lost what little
Oh yeah, yeah.
what little pixels we had. But Bard's breakfast feast, dwarves turkey and dressing dinner. Which fun fact, I'm getting a
Awesome.
turkey and dressing dinner tomorrow. I'm very excited for. Um,
Fun fact, I'm gonna DoorDash after this probably.
yeah, before this collab started, I was like, Alvin, just make sure you have like a snack because I know that Alvin's bedtime is like pretty soon. So I'm like, just make sure you you don't go
Yeah.
to bed hungry. I'm gonna be throwing food at you.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. Pumpkin coffee, pumpkin milkshake, which I'm not a huge pumpkin flavored
Yeah.
guy, but that sounds pretty not bad. That sounds,
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
not a pumpkin guy either, but
yeah,
Hobbit, yeah, breakfast. There's so many good things here. Like I
yeah,
can, like I'll dodge the broccoli, and
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
dodge like some of the pumpkin coffee maybe. But like, there's
yeah,
plenty good stuff here. That I'm gonna have a
yeah,
banging time.
yeah,
So yeah.
100%. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm taking some of this stuff and I'm shoving on top of some of these fries over here.
Oh,
I
that's
know
a good idea.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm mixing. I'm doing what
you
no
made
one's done
poutine.
before. I'm mixing matching. Yeah. All right, let's get out of this. Let's close that down.
That's good stuff.
I'll save these just for fun, just for permanent
Yeah,
record.
thank you for that. That was a fun bit there.
All right,
Let's start cruising.
the barbell squat, classic.
S tier. Sorry.
S-tier. Yeah,
Both
I
of
don't
them,
do these.
S tier.
Yeah, you're even front squat.
Yeah, even front squats, S tier.
Okay. I like front squat because I have a big enough chest and delts that I can just sort of I can do the
Yep.
genie like hand motion and I can keep it up there really solid. But I'm
Yep.
but I don't do either squat very often because I'm approaching my mid-30s and if I
Oh
screw
yeah.
up a squat, I feel it for a while.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's when you have to fight against it the most. And I'm saying this
Yeah,
as someone who has the same problem, but I feel like that's when you have to lock in the most and be like, no, I need to squat or else I'm going to
right.
stop squatting. And then I'll become immobile when I'm old.
Right. It's so true. Maybe.
Oh,
Yeah. Maybe I should
do me a favor real quick.
double my efforts. Yeah.
Grab the barbell squat, put it all the way to the front of S tier.
Barbell squat.
It's already on the S tier, which when I put it in the front there. Yeah, the regular barbell squat. Go ahead and put that all the way to the front of S tier.
Oh yeah, there we go.
And then grab the chin ups and put that all the way to the front of S tier.
Okay.
All right, and then go down a little bit. And take that next exercise on the list and put that directly to the front of S tier.
Okay. I'm
and here's your workout routine.
Yeah, no, that's
here's
that'll do
workouts.
Yeah, that'll yep. That's a pretty good guys. If you want to go to the gym tomorrow morning, I'm only saying don't go right now because watch the end of the stream. If you want to just get started right now, yeah, Alpin's right. This is real. This is as real as it gets.
Yeah, take the rows too. You got to take the pull-ups of the rows. I guess we have the chin-ups, but yeah, we should still put the rows in there too. But yeah, that's the 5 you need. Like you can get incredibly far with bench press, chin-up, row, squat, deadlift. That's it. You could get like 95% of the gains you'll ever get.
Yep. Where's prep? Like just regular bench press? I put it in guilty pleasure. So
yeah, because it's high A tier, low S tier otherwise. But the incline dumbbell press is kind of a little bit better.
Yeah, incline dumbbell press. Yeah, right there, right at the top of us.
Yeah.
I don't. I know what a hex
OHP.
bar deadlift is. I don't know what a Romanian deadlift is. Can you teach me what is this?
Oh yeah, these are S tier. This is like
S tier?
This is one of those like the best hamstring exercises out there. So a Romanian deadlift starts from the top rather than the bottom, and it's exactly like it's like a good morning, but the weight's in a different place. So you stick your butt back. It's a hip hinge motion. You're doing a reverse deadlift more or less, but then you're letting it slowly down your legs, stretching out your hamstrings big time, and then basically squeezing your glutes and hamstrings and coming back up with a hip thrust.
Yeah.
They're awesome. They're amazing. They're like the best thing ever. S tier, S tier, S tier all day.
Okay. I've only ever seen one hex bar in real life, and I could not fit in it. I'm too wide. It didn't feel right. What I understand what it's doing mechanically, where like I was like changing like the where the weight feels, but what does this do for you, Elpin? Please let me know.
Well, I would tell you, but I'm a little confused why the hex bar deadlift is illustrated as a quad motion here, considering
Yeah,
it's a
that's also
deadlift.
yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe they're arguing that because, like, I would say that a lot of people do it this way, but I would call that kind of like doing it wrong because at that point it's a hex bar squat. Like what they're
Yeah.
illustrating right now is a hex bar squat, not a hex bar deadlift.
Right.
Which are fine. The one thing I would say is the hex bar is it tends to be a little higher, weirdly enough, because the bar handles come up. So it tends to be a little higher, so the depth isn't as much. But if you have mobility issues that you're still working on, and you're working up to like a normal deadlift from the ground pulling, you can do
Right.
this instead of having blocks, right? So like if
Yeah.
you're getting used to deadlifting and you have like blocks to raise your deadlift, this is another way to do that. It's just a little higher, so it's a little less efficient.
Yeah.
But they're great. They're fine. This is actually the standard the military uses. So the military and the Marines and everyone for their deadlift and their motions, basically their squat and their deadlift, I believe they use the hex bar in their standard testing.
Okay.
So it's good. It's good. I wouldn't call it S. I'd call it high A. I do use it with my clients when they have troubles with the regular one. It's like my go-to when
Right.
someone has trouble with the regular squat or deadlift. Yeah.
Okay. Smith machine
No,
squat.
evil exercise. Evil
Yeah.
nefarious exercise.
Yeah.
Okay, not actually, but I wouldn't call it a squat.
Yeah. From what I know mechanically, again, I'm just a bro science guy.
Yeah.
Occasionally screwing up your squat, accidentally shifting left and right and stuff. That teaches your body that kind of you learn how to be stable doing that.
Yes.
If you take away that, that's an issue. That's
Yep.
that's that's a
Even
bro
more than
science
that.
approach. Yeah.
Even more than that. And there are going to be two caveats here. And you know what? I say we'll keep it in low B actually, and there's going to be a specific reason, but it's not the squat. So yeah, that's one reason. The other is that most Smith machines do not have a proper curve. So if you look at the actual like bar path, meaning where the bar moves when you're doing a regular squat or a regular bench press, it's not actually a straight line. There's a slight curve to it. So unless the Smith machine has that same slight curve, you end up in a weird position that you wouldn't be in during a normal bench or a normal squat. So this can actually teach wicked bad habits if it's the first squat you do, and it could make it so that if you were to actually use a bar, you would just fall over. Like if you went to a free bar and you tried to do this sort of squat, you would just fall over. Now, what it is good for is if you're aware of that, if you know that that's one of the constraints, you can use it to your advantage. So there is a type of squat you can do in the Smith machine that's actually really good for your glutes. And so uniquely, the Smith machine will let you do that. So it can be good. It's a tool, but normal squatting here isn't great. I would rather people don't start off with that. Like if I hear someone started on the Smith machine squatting, I'm like, maybe don't learn that way.
All right. The machine belt squat, an exercise I've only seen in fitness videos. I've never seen anyone do this in real life. I've not sure if my gym even has the ability to do this. What
can I have a tier called I want it, let me in.
Yeah, we'll put I'll put it below D tier, not because it's like not something we want, just because it's a special special extra row.
Yeah, use it like it's your finishing move. It's EX sparking. EX sparking motion.
Sparking. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, what is the machine belt squat? Please explain.
What it is an amazing machine that's super awesome and nobody has one.
Yeah, I've seen this in like Gold's Gym fitness reels. That's it. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say this. If my gym had one, this is the only squat I would do.
I see.
Straight up. I love this. Same with the pendulum squat. I love this. What it is, the belt loaded squat, is rather than actually loading the weight basically rather than putting the weight on your shoulders and compressing your spine like that, which
Yeah.
is fine, right? It's good. We control the weight. It's good for the core. That's totally fine. But rather than doing that, what this does is really makes it all about the quads. So you're
Yeah.
actually loading the weight from the bottom, and there's a belt around you, and you're basically pulling the weight up. So
Yeah.
it's only your quads and lower posterior chain and stuff getting activated. But for those people who have problems where, you know, you put 300 pounds on your back and you feel like you're going to die, this is a great alternative. I
Yeah.
actually think this is an awesome alternative as you're aging. I think it's a great alternative if you have any problems that prevent you from doing normal squatting.
Yeah.
I actually would prefer to do this if I had one, but I don't.
Yeah.
Cry. I'm looking into it though.
Nice. That's nice. The body weight squat.
Great
Uh,
stretch.
uh, great stretch. Okay, I'll put a stretch here.
Yeah.
D.
Awesome stretch.
Sumo
You
deadlift.
will build muscle with this in a
Yeah.
very specific circumstance. I will
Yeah.
say, like if you're incredibly new to the gym and if you're someone who is very overweight, right, or like very obese, this
Yeah.
can actually absolutely be a starting point. But for most people's first time in the gym, you should start
Yeah.
learning how to squat's good, even with your body weight. But this is more of a stretch than anything. This is cardio more than anything, unless you do some funky stuff with it. So
Yeah.
you can do you can do heel elevated myo rep body weight squats in a way that makes it so even the most toughest squatter in the world is going to be crying, but that's a very specific use case, and
Yeah.
that's not what we're really looking at here.
Yeah. So I normally wouldn't ever recommend any of my friends do the sumo deadlift, but it
I
is a
would.
fun one to do, and I have a caveat is that years ago when I had a back injury and I was trying to sort of pseudo rehab myself because I didn't want to go to the doctor, I started doing sumo deadlifts as an alternative, and I really like the motion. It's just you gotta plan a little bit more than just a regular deadlift. I feel like you gotta really think about it. You gotta really yeah. You like it
Okay,
though?
so for me, it's S tier. It's right next to regular
It's
deadlift.
S tier. That's
They're the
I would
same.
put it low
Yep.
A, but S tier. Okay.
Yep. It's the same. Okay, so this is the most right. This is going to be the most contentious thing in the world, and I feel like I need to keep like this is a contentious thing. But listen, the science agrees with me. Okay, sumo deadlifting is valid, and it's just as good as regular deadlifting. It's the same amount of work. It's literally the same amount of work. The only difference is the where it's hardest is different. One's harder at the bottom, one's harder at the top. But if it were, I'm going to say it. This is like a logic assuming argument, but if sumo squats are objectively easier or more superior, everyone would do them and all the records would be held by sumo lifters, but they're not. It's about 50-50 actually, because what happens to people reported from malpractice, it's not actually half the range of motion because you're in a different stretch position. You're not actually, it's a different starting position. So it's not a completely different range of motion. The amount of work being done is still the same, but what's it called? Yeah, here's the thing is sometimes people are looking at the result and not the how they got there. And what I mean by that is like some people will sumo pull and then they'll say, "Oh, I can pull more. That was easier. So sumo must be easier." No, it's that your body was built to do sumo. Everyone doesn't feel that way. Some people have the opposite. Some people try sumo and they're like, "Whoa, that's way harder than conventional." And conventional was easier for them. So here's the trick. Do the deadlift where you can pull more weight.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a crazy take or what, but yeah, do the one where you can pull more weight consistently. Trust me. That tends to lead to bigger muscle growth.
Just as an aside, I know Rikishi, like sumo wrestlers don't actually do much sumo deadlifting. But sumo is one of the few sports that I actually follow. So it's if I ever go to Japan, it's going to be during a basho. I really really want to go someday. Just shout out to that sport that I feel like is way more interesting and fun to watch. Yeah. I just want to give not the sumo knee and the scab push, but
okay. They all die when they're 40, but shout out. It's still very cool. But yeah, no, I will defend sumo deadlift. It's valid. If it wasn't valid, I mean, for one, obviously it's illegal in powerlifting, but like again, just look at the records. The records are
Yeah,
split, and I've looked at this before. They're split pretty half and half between sumo and conventional, and in all
yeah,
the different categories. It's really that one of them is going to be better for you based on your body leverage, right? Based on the length of your femur, based on hip insertion, for your hip sockets and how deep they are and stuff like that. Some people prefer sumo, some people prefer conventional. You're going to be better at one of them. Do the one you're better at. That's going to help you long term and just pulling more weight and being stronger.
yeah. All right, the dumbbell RDL
Yeah, they're great. They're awesome. S. I'm just
S.
throwing
Yeah, yeah,
stuff in S now because it's already else.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, do the regular one there. Great. S
Yeah.
already else.
The safety bar squat. I've never seen one of these in person. I do know they exist.
Yeah.
I don't like padded stuff. I like the bar. I like when the bar digs into my flesh and gives me like the Admiral stripes for an afternoon. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a
I
crazy
actually
person
really like
statement.
these.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see muscularly at least, there there's very little reason why they wouldn't be S tier as well, because they're just a
Hmm.
squat at the end of the day, and it's great, and
Yeah.
it's free weight and it's loaded.
Yeah.
So it's just as S tier as everything else. What I particularly like about these, and this is a mobility thing though, so really there's an argument that you should train this, but some
Right.
people do find it really hard, whether it's bad shoulder mobility or just they're too big to actually get their arms far back enough to pin the bar to them. And so the only difference with the safety bar is that the grip is in front, so you don't have to go behind your back to like pull it into
Yep.
your traps. So
Yep.
like, yeah, I mean, if you have mobility issues, I do think you should work on them, but at the same time, like if this lets
Yep.
you squat, it's pretty cool.
Yep. Louis also going to bat for the stripes on your shoulders. Nice to see it. Nice to see respect for the for the Admiral
Yep,
straps.
yep. Wait, wait,
Def.
wait. Kuramaru, it's for people who pretend to be too buff for the regular back squat. You're right. Like me.
Yeah,
I've looked into buying one of these for like 2 years.
yeah. The deficit deadlift. They feel you feel them. You certainly feel them. I don't
Scab, can you make a
know.
new tier real quick? Just
Right?
for this. And call the tier call the tier the seventh circle.
Okay.
Specifically
Uh,
like karmic torture or something like that.
there we go.
Hell, yeah, hell. Put that in the hell
Yeah,
category.
yeah. Hell category.
Amazing exercise. This, if you can do this, this is evil. If you can do this, you're a freak. Just
Yeah,
straight up.
When
You're built different.
when okay, so I'll have to reveal a little bit of my youth. Try to make this quick because we only have like half an hour left and a lot of exercises to get through.
Oh yeah,
But
we can start hustling. Sorry.
yeah, when I was in grade 5, a Japanese exchange student ended up being like one of my best friends forever. Moved like transferred into my school, and she was the only person who was able to do like an actual like you know that exercise
Yeah.
like bend over and see how far your fingers can go. Like they should reach your toes, but she was the only
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
who could not only get to her toes but could hit such a like a deficit that like she could like grab like the entirety of her feet without like bending her legs. And I
Uh-huh.
always, whenever I think about deficits, I always think about that little Japanese girl that completely mogged my entire elementary school.
No, I'm gonna be real. This you're onto something though. This is an exercise. Art like honestly, women mog on. Women
Yeah,
will
yeah,
mog you on this. Women more so than men tend to be able to do the deficit deadlift. So don't get me wrong. So bot, you're 100% right. Don't get me wrong. This is just a better deadlift. It's a deadlift with more range of motion, but it's not something that 99% of the population can even do.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
it's a hell exercise. If you can do them, it's like a burden. It's like a burden, right? Because it's like, well, obviously do them if you can,
Yeah,
but then you're kind of accepting that you have to suffer, right? Like you've
yeah,
chosen suffering. That's a burden on you to be able to do those.
yeah. All right, Bulgarian split squats. I,
Awesome S
I
tier. Just really
awesome S
annoying.
tier.
Actually,
Yeah,
high A.
I okay.
Just for the same
Uh,
reason as the others, where you have to do it individually and it takes a long time.
yeah.
But they're awesome. They're so good.
I feel like these would hurt my knees. I feel like out of all the squats, these ones would most make my knees feel like hell. Maybe I
Well, you are
lean forward too
using.
much.
Yeah, you're kind of using less weight. They're hard to balance, is the thing that I
Yeah.
found, right? You need a lot of balance to be good at them. And then you run into the stability problem, right? Where it's like,
Mhm.
okay, well, I'm less stable on one leg, even if the other's, balancing me. So then you
Yeah,
can't project as much force. So I think they're great. They're awesome. They're just
yeah,
not the best.
yeah. Something I hate but begrudgingly recognize as good stuff. Yeah, there's a couple of those in here. Russian Cossack dance, aka the pistol squat.
Actually, good because there's so much
Is it
weight.
good?
This is just the progression of the body weight squat in a good way, where you just have so much weight. Pistol squats are A
Yeah,
tier.
yeah, yeah,
You weigh a lot. You're squatting, what, 150 pounds on one leg? Yeah, that's
yeah,
pretty good.
yeah. Here's something I would put in like the opposite of guilty pleasure. The box squat. I feel like I'm just damaging my spine every time. Every time I feel like I'm just coming down
Oh,
too heavy.
really?
Yeah, maybe I need to stretch more. Maybe I need to figure out the middle part of the squat better, but I feel like I'm always just sitting on my
Hmm.
butt too hard every time. The shock
Oh, okay. I
absorbers of
see
my
what you're saying.
spine are not
Oh, yeah, yeah. When you
yeah,
actually
yeah,
sit with the weight.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I think obviously just don't do these unless you have to, or you're a competitive lifter, power
yeah,
lifter.
yeah,
These are
yeah,
B. Put them in low B
yeah. Randomly in the middle of B.
because
Yeah.
yeah, it just takes out the best part of the squat, right? So the best part of the squats
Get
when
more
you're at or
butt.
below parallel.
Yeah,
This just gets rid of that. It's the top end of a squat. That does make sense to train if you're powerlifting for
yeah,
competition because you're training your top end, or if you can't get down low enough yet on a
yeah,
regular squat. But even then, maybe just don't go to parallel, but try to get down without the
yeah,
box because obviously all the tension comes off when you sit. So like, there's a use case, but you don't want a regular person doing these right off
yeah.
the bat if they don't have to.
Single leg RDL.
Not S, just because you have to balance way more. It's hard to
Yeah,
focus. Same balance problem, A, I'd say.
yeah. Uh, the overhead squat, which I
Yeah, all right,
don't
D.
understand as why would you do this to yourself, Alpin? Why would
Yeah,
you do it?
D.
Yeah. Why does this exist? Why does this?
But why? Well, okay,
Yeah.
here's the thing. They exist because of the Olympics. And there's going to
Okay.
be, why don't we get these out of the way? Because they're at the bottom. All the Olympic
Yeah, yeah.
lifts. So all the like the cleans, the clean and
Clean and the
jerk, the all
snatch.
that
Yep.
snatch. Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead and put those all in like let's put those all in C, I think.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine that he was not like a professional lifter. He was a male stripper. Who was obsessed with the clean and jerk and snatch, and he was constantly on injury leave. Because he was I don't know, man. I understand why this lift exists. I understand why we use it as like a competition, but just seems like injuries. It just seems like Snap City. I'm bringing back that meme from 2012. Just feels like Snap City, baby.
Yep. Well, okay, so obviously they have a stigma because a lot of people who do CrossFit do these, and that's like their
Yeah,
one barbell movement. But the thing is, okay, yeah, it's cool. It's good. It's cool. It shows a lot of strength. But if we're talking specifically about muscle building, all of these exercises separately are more efficient.
yeah, yeah,
Like you have to use the same weight. So obviously, it has to still be something you can put above your head. So it's not your max
yeah,
deadlift. And because it's also something you put above your head, it's not your max squat.
yeah,
So it's like, yeah, it's cool. It's like a cool functional thing. And it's the Olympic lift, which is why a lot of people train it, right? Because it's how
yeah,
you show power in the Olympics. But in terms of actual muscle building, efficiency, it's not that efficient because you're
yeah,
just not focusing on any one muscle or any one movement. You're doing the whole body all at once, but you can't specify. You can't have individual weights and
yeah.
tolerances. So, yeah,
I'll
it's I mean, if you could do one exercise, that's cool, right? If you
yeah,
only
yeah,
gun to your head one exercise in the world and you want to be overall pretty fit and mobile and stuff like that, yeah, that'd be pretty
yeah.
good. But we don't have that situation, so
I like the way his son put it. It's more of a sport than a workout, and with that logic, I
it is.
understand. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. It is much more of a
Um.
sport than a workout. That being said,
Yeah.
overhead squat as a separate thing, D tier. What the hell is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. What is that? That just feels like falling backwards. The game. Let's.
That feels like a party trick.
Yeah. All right. I always thought that this was just a front squat, but just if your chest wasn't big enough that you couldn't do the fun balance thing. This is just an
I agree.
alternative. Is
S
that
tier.
is that okay?
Every
If you
squat's
can't,
S, honestly.
yeah. This next one, hip abduction. I was APOP corrected me a couple of weeks ago. I thought this was a core exercise. I had no idea. I never looked into it. I just saw people doing it. I saw mainly women doing it.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Um, I
I
was
do
not
these actually
aware.
a lot.
Yeah, How do you feel on these? I've never gotten on this machine. If you like them, I might try them. If you don't like them, I'll happily just continue to ignore them for the rest of my life. I don't know how you
You know
feel.
what? I'd put both of them in B, like mid B maybe.
Maybe.
Only because yeah, it's like okay, it's a machine and that kind of sucks. But the abductor, the adductors are like,
Yeah.
if you want to isolate them, this is kind of one of the only exercises you can do
Mm,
outside of like tying an ankle cable onto yourself. So
yeah.
for that purpose alone, it's like it's so specialized
Yeah.
of a machine that there's a use for it for sure.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna work the abductor adductor, you're probably gonna do this if you want to
Yeah.
isolate it.
Okay. Yeah. The lying. I don't like the lying leg curl. I prefer seated, but
Ooh.
I don't know if
Ooh.
that's a weird opinion or not. I'm like on my butt out here. I feel
No, no, no.
vulnerable. I feel like an injured gazelle. I feel like. How do you feel?
I think they're both good. Lying leg
They're
curl
really good.
and seated leg curl are probably both
Yeah.
A. I did see an argument about which one was better, and there was really no conclusion. There was
Mm,
maybe a slight preference towards lying leg curl, I think,
yeah.
in like EMG activation, like muscle activation. But yeah, I think they're both high A. They're both really good.
Yeah.
They're both
I've
awesome
been
hamstring
I've been
isolations. Like if you're a
seated right
bodybuilder, you're
above.
doing these. If you're a power lifter,
Yeah.
you're probably doing RDLs and stuff and deadlifts. But if you're a bodybuilder, you're going to
Yeah.
do these, and they're great.
Yeah. What the hell is a skateboard squat? what, what
Oh,
is
on a
that?
skateboard
Okay. I thought it was
for
some
fun
sort of
as a treat.
yeah. Well, the what is described as the opposite motion, the leg extension. How you feeling?
Yeah, the leg extension.
Yeah.
These are good. I
Yeah.
have a personal problem, so I'm going to put them lower. I'm biased against these,
Ooh, interesting.
but it's a squeamish reason.
What's that?
I feel like there's no way. Like, okay, this isn't science based. This is me bringing out my bro
Okay.
science and bro
Yeah,
lifting.
that's fine.
I
That's
feel
fine.
like there's no way this is good for my knees.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I don't think that personally, but I understand. I see it. I see the vision. Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
right.
great.
I'm
Yeah.
wrong. That's the thing. Like
Yeah.
I am
No,
objectively wrong. If
no, this
anything,
is
it's gonna strengthen and be protective.
yeah.
But my knees crack already. And my knees they don't hurt. They don't hurt, but I've always just
Yeah.
been cautious of them. And it
Yeah.
just kind of feels wrong. Whenever I do
Yeah.
them, I'm like, oh, I'd rather squat, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, this is a bro science friendly area. Okay. We're not fully adopting bro science, but we're, it's okay. It's okay. Um hip thrusts.
Oh.
I understand why these exist. Ladies, if you keep fucking taking up the fucking power rack for these, I am going to commit crimes against the female gender. You can do these on any bench. You don't have to take up the fucking power rack for hip thrusts.
Well, to be fair, they need 500 pounds, right? So
True.
maybe they do need the rack.
Yeah.
Real quick, do we have hip thrust machine on the list? I want to before I say anything, I want to look at that first.
Hip
Did
thrust
we keep that, or was
machine.
that even there?
I don't think so. No, we don't.
Okay. Hip thrusts are awesome.
Yeah.
Regular barbell hip thrust, I would say, actually is like only B, but the machine actually is S tier.
Yeah.
And this is a
I'll
really
put
weird
that
one
on
where the
me.
machine's better.
Yeah.
Maybe A,
Ladies, please.
but this is a really weird one for the machine's better. And
Yeah.
I feel like I wave this flag all the time, but everyone bear with me. Let me explain, right? Look at the motion. Where is your glute stretched in the hip thrust motion?
Mm.
Right? It's at the bottom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
when you're just sitting down
yeah.
with the bar on top of you, right? There's no tension at all. That's an important part of the list. That's one of the stretch positions, right? Not the only one, but one of them. That's one of the stretch positions. That's the hard part of the lift, right?
Yeah.
So the machine actually starts you with tension on you when you're in the bottom. So it's actually better than hip thrusting right off of the ground when you have no tension at all. So one of the very few cases where the machine is superior to the free weight movement in this this time. But yeah, no, that's one distinction.
Yeah. All right. The glute bridge.
Awesome stretch.
Awesome stretch. Yeah. The glute
kickback, awesome stretch.
Awesome stretch. Okay.
Raising
Lunges.
my leg.
Another thing that that
Oh,
I
dumbbell.
objective I see. Yeah, dumbbell lunge. I see the appeal. I like them. Make my knees hurt. knees make weird noise. Don't like it. Getting older.
Yeah, lunge hard. These are
Yeah,
pretty good. It's
yeah,
dumbbell, you're weighted on these. It's very balance oriented. So yeah, A is good. A
yeah.
is good
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because it's balance problem again.
Yeah. Cable
Able
kickbacks.
kickbacks.
I
They're pretty cool.
I never do these. I don't like setting it up. If there was a
Yeah.
machine that
It's just
just
it's
did
so
this
much to
for
set up.
me, yeah, I'd probably do it more often. But I don't like wrapping the thing
Yeah.
around my ankle. I don't like,
hmm
how you feel?
Well, this is one of the reasons why we have the adductor and the adductor machine, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
well, this is kick back, so I guess it's not the side swing. So this is slightly different because this is glute. But yeah, it's fine. I would probably just hip thrust rather than set this up. But it's good. I'd say like B, high B,
I be. Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah,
The hack squat.
pretty based. S tier
That's here. Yeah. Yeah, I like the hack
specifically for
squat. Just
bodybuilding.
yeah, most gyms don't have one of these. This is sort of like a rare
Yeah.
one around, at least in my area. I don't know about states, but I've only seen like one of these. It felt good, but it's
hmm
not something I do because I just can't. The machine just doesn't exist
Yeah.
around me.
Most
Yeah.
gyms I go to have them. This is actually like one of my preferred squats right now is the hack
Mhm.
squat. I like it a
Yeah.
lot, but you want to go real deep on them. That's the thing. If you're going to use a machine when you're squatting, you better
Yeah.
be taking advantage of that machine, right? Don't half-ass
Yeah.
it because
Yeah.
otherwise, just go squat with the bar. But if you want to use this to get like wicked below parallel and do some really high volume stuff that's dangerous,
Yeah.
otherwise, absolutely.
Yeah. The leg press. This is not quite a guilty pleasure for me. I'm not going to put it up there, but I really like this. We were talking about
Mhm.
this in a different stream a little while ago. I think if I remember correctly, for you to recommend this, we have to go that platform has to hit your balls, from what you were telling me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
this is a great workout if your knees are near your ears.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like they
yeah,
need to be there though. You got to be all
yeah,
crunched up like a little origami
yeah,
plane
yeah,
before
yeah,
this is a good exercise. But then it's a
yeah,
really good one. So
yeah,
A tier with that.
yeah, yeah. I
But
really
most
like
people
it.
don't do this right. But no, yeah,
Yeah.
you want your knees in your mouth basically.
One that I have never heard of
Oh,
before. What is a Nordic hamstring curl, Elpin, please?
oh, oh boy, guilty pleasure me.
Guilty
This
pleasure.
is my. This is
Whoa.
actually my. This is one of my secret training techniques. I like
Yeah.
this is one thing I do that I feel like most other trainers don't do.
Chat,
I
write
have a
this
lot
down.
of
Write this
my
down. This is
clients do
free
this.
tech he's giving you. Write this down right now. Okay. What are we
Yeah,
doing
this
here?
is free
What is a
text.
hamstring
So
curl?
the Nordic hamstring curl is the ultimate flex of a hamstring workout. It is
Okay.
practically a stunt. You can't do these. You can't just go and do these. They
All
take
right.
like probably a year to work up to.
Right.
But it's the ultimate flex. So what you're doing is you're
Or
pinning your legs and
yep.
you're letting yourself. You're not using your arms. In fact, you put them behind your back and you're going
Yep.
to let yourself all the way down to the floor with just your hamstrings, touch
Yep.
your chest on the floor, and then come back up with just your hamstrings.
I feel a Charlie horse farming in my toes just thinking about this.
Yeah, they're actually incredible.
Yeah.
They're really good. They're maybe like I know I keep saying it, but it's like a pretty peak hamstring exercise if we're talking just hamstrings.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's incredibly hard to do, and it takes like a year to work up to. It's like a party trick. If you're doing these,
Yeah.
you have very strong hamstrings.
Yeah.
Like objectively.
A year to work up to, or a day in the hyperbolic time chamber. Write that down, guys. You could always just
True,
use
true.
the room of spirit of time.
I haven't done
Standing,
the quad version, but I'm interested in it.
yeah, standing calf raise. I like these feel good. I would definitely put these above the sitting version because I always feel like it's sort of like the sitting dip machine. I always feel like I'm launching myself out of the sitting version. I always feel like I'm, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
S tier. S tier.
That's here.
Listen,
Yeah.
there's not many ways to train calves besides doing a calf raise. S
Yeah.
tier.
Or just being fat. That works. That works.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
The best
Yeah.
calves you'll ever see are on people who used to be obese.
Yeah. I used to be obese. And I don't really need to
Same.
work calf center. Yeah.
Here's
Standing
our OHPs,
dumbbell
finally.
rests. Yeah, we're finally here. I love these. There is no exercise where I fucked myself up by accident that have sent me to Snap City more than the standing dumbbell press because I consistently think I can do
Yeah.
more than I can.
I'm gonna be mean here and actually only put it in A,
No,
like
that's
towards
fair.
high.
Yeah, yeah.
Both of them, the barbell and the dumbbell. I love OHPs. I've
Yeah,
done them almost as much as I've bench pressed. Like
yeah.
OHP was something I do pretty much every day when I work out. They're
Mhm.
great. They're awesome. But realistically speaking, we're already working a lot of the things. Like in a normal
Yeah,
workout, the things that this is working, especially with like front delts and stuff, we kind of already hit.
yeah,
And so it's like, yeah, they're good, but I don't know. They're probably better uses of your time.
yeah,
It's kind of like it's the redheaded stepchild is the joke, right? Of like the power lifts, where it's like it's
yeah, yeah,
the secret fourth or fifth power lift.
yeah,
But I think they're awesome. They're just not like
yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Anyway,
Behind
this
the
is an
neck,
evil exercise, D tier.
it's you really don't. Yeah, these ones are Snap City as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, do you want to
I'll bring it
die?
up. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'll bring it back. We're just bringing back Snap City. I love that meme.
Yeah.
Behind the neck shoulder press is just death.
This is what we call all risk, no reward. The behind the neck shoulder press.
Yeah, 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 100%. The dumbbell lateral raise. I hate doing these, but boy howdy, have I ever been doing them over the last year, and boy howdy, do I ever see results. That's
Yep. Dumbbell lateral raises in general are like my are you doing your lateral raises? I keep telling people
yeah,
that. I
yeah,
ask
yeah,
them like every week, right? Because it's like they're spammable. You're generally your side delts will recover really, really fast, and they're
yeah,
really hard to hit with most other exercises. So you kind of want to
yeah,
isolate them. Really helps you get that globe look on your shoulders.
yeah,
High A. The only reason why it's only A is because the cable
yeah.
lateral raise is coming up next, and that's the S tier.
Yeah. There's one that you actually took off. That no,
Oh,
you didn't take off. Actually, it's right here. I'm gonna scoot it up ahead of just a little bit. Machine reverse
all
fly
right.
for
Yeah,
Delt.
yeah.
I really like these for Delts. I love doing these. In
Guilty
fact,
pleasure.
I like doing these more than side lateral raises.
Me too. Me
But
too. Guilty
yeah,
pleasure.
yeah, guilty pleasure. Yeah, good. Yep. Man, the chest
I
fly
actually think it's
machine
great.
is it's just a fucking goated machine. Look at these two, both a
I
guilty
know, right?
pleasure. Yeah,
You just turn it around, you have fun on both sides. No, I love
yeah,
them. Granted, it's not going to be the most efficient thing for your back, right? It's
yeah,
not
yeah,
optimal for your back or anything like that. That's why it's a guilty pleasure, but I
yeah,
love them. I think they
yeah,
feel great, and it's it's a motion that you don't normally get, that like pull apart motion almost,
yeah,
with the
yeah,
other side of your arms. So I do like it. I do like it for sure.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
down to lateral raises. Machine
yeah.
is slightly worse than I guess in this case, yeah, machine's worse, slightly worse than dumbbell for a lateral raise. I would say B. I'd go B
B,
here.
yeah,
I
yeah,
go here. The only time I do a machine lateral raise is if the cables are taken.
yeah. I don't think we have this machine or an equivalent in my gym, but I do know this. I do, judging from the picture, I do know this exercise. So
Yep.
I don't know how I'd feel. I don't think I've
The
ever
gym I
done
go
that
to
one.
has two.
Why? Okay.
There might even be three. It's kind of weird,
Yeah.
actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah. Cable lateral raise. These make me feel like
Yeah.
garbage, but they're good.
Yep.
they're fun.
Yep. This
Yeah.
is the S tier of side delts, I think. This is the one
Really?
side delta
Yeah,
exercise.
yeah, yeah.
Yup.
Okay.
The difference being, obviously, right? Especially if you step out, the big important thing here is there's a variation called Egyptian lateral raise, and that's
Mhm.
when you're going to lean away from the tower. And the reason why you do that is you basically want it to start off in a position where when you're holding the handle at the bottom, it's already
Yeah.
stretching your arm. You don't
Okay,
want it
yeah,
to be
yeah.
slack at the bottom, so you lean out. And that way, you're having a like perfect tension profile the entire time you're
Yeah.
doing lateral raise. That's why it's better.
Okay. The barbell upright row.
Pretty cool. Fine. A.
Fine. Fine. Yeah. Just fine. Yeah. That's how I would describe it. Yep.
Yeah, accessory, I think,
Yeah.
honestly.
The
Ooh,
push press. Who wants to lift?
the
Who's going to
push
carry the
press.
boats? Alpin. Who's going to carry the boats? Are you going to carry? I'm not going to carry
Yeah,
the boats. I don't feel like
we
it.
need to, you know what? We probably should have made a sport tier. Like, this is a sport tier, because
Yeah.
put this in
Yeah.
C,
Yeah.
but there's a use for it, obviously.
There's a
Like,
use
are
for it.
you a
Yeah.
power lifter?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If you're a power lifter, yes, you're push pressing, and that's a good thing to do. If you're not a power lifter and you're focused on building muscle, never ever push press, ever.
Coming up, here's the
Wrist
risk.
curls.
There's no exercise that has more of a mind muscle connection to me than this one that I also just don't ever do. I
Yeah. Yeah.
feel every tendon in my forearm if I wrist curl, but I just never do them. I just never.
Yeah. You know, the cool thing about, I feel like we almost have to give it an S, because like what else trains your wrists in
Yeah, true.
isolation than a wrist curl?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's kind of the only way.
yeah. For grip train, yeah, grip trainers are plus grip trainers are fun because you can just they're like fidget spinners. You can just keep on just everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But that's
but
specifically training the flexion, not even the grip.
yeah. All right, every one of you who went through public high school is gonna love this next one. It's the burpee.
Burpees. That's good
I
cardio. D.
I put it down to hell. I despise. I have bad
Hell yeah,
memories.
yeah.
Burpees made me
No,
hate
see, but
exercise for a while.
the deficit deadlift's a good exercise though.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
also really like how in the burpees they have like the whole body lit up. Like it's, well, look at it, it's a whole body exercise. It's
yeah,
building muscle everywhere.
yeah,
No, it's cardio.
yeah. I didn't know this had a
Oh, and we
name.
did
I
have
thought
this.
it was just I thought it was just half rep the exercise. It's a pin press. Our final one.
Yeah.
I
Um
was not aware that this was
C?
like a real name thing. Yeah, D makes sense to me.
No, I think C, because it should be above the barbell floor press because it's straight safer because you can't die on it. That's the point of the pins.
I
But
keep
it's the same
forgetting the
idea where you're
barbell
only
floor
working the
press
top end.
exists. I love the
Yeah,
I
it
love
has
this
to be
image so
better
much. Yeah, it has to be
because
better.
that's the death factor.
Oh, I love this guy so much. I hope this 3D render of a man is doing well right now.
Yeah, I hope so.
He's probably dead, judging from the barbell floor press. All right. Alpin, do you feel like this is the definitive exercise list for us for every Chuba's needs?
You know what? I feel like it is if you also listen to the 3-hour stream that accompanies it, because there is so much nuance and
Yeah,
well, in this scenario, like you could never
yeah,
show anyone this and have it make sense. That I
yeah,
will say.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
brave opening up your folders live on stream, by the way.
Yeah, no, my download folders specifically maintained to be work safe, to be
Wow,
uh
very brave. I applaud you.
yeah. The only thing, the occasional old meme gets saved. I reference a nice boat. Everyone loves nice boat, and then the rest of this is all work safe.
Yep.
But I'm specifically trying to find floor floor FL because I love that
You're
man.
giving me a heart attack. I just want you to know that. Like
No,
the
it's
OPSEC of just
I can go
having
down.
your whole
I
file
can go
browser
down.
here right now
Yeah,
is
yeah.
is giving me a heart attack.
I
I'm gonna freak out.
I practice. So here's the other thing.
This is
I
aura.
get I'm considered a bit of a flirty chuba, right? I don't
Yeah.
actually save anything not safe for work to my computer. You know, I'm not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
people think like I'm a bit of a horn dog. I'm actually pretty safe so away from the stream. So
Oh, for sure, right?
there's very few folders on my computer that I'd be like, no, we're absolutely not going into that. We're
Yeah,
but
yeah.
where?
I just, I'm not even worried about that side as much as I'm just worried about like that's less bad than like, I don't know, you name something with your name or something.
No, 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 no.
That's your
All
whole
that
browser.
my entire like personal life takes place on my cell phone, not my personal computer.
Ah, I see, I see.
Did
Well,
I not
it's
save?
aura. That's bravery, Scab. I
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do
yeah.
it. That's
Oh well.
bravery right there.
Oh, here's the all right. Thank you so much, Elvin. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, no problem.
I
Thanks
didn't
for
know it
inviting me,
was going
man.
to be that much fun. I didn't think we were getting that many laughs out of this. I thought it was going to be a fairly dry stream. I'm going to be honest with you, but
Nah, we always make it a good time.
yeah. Let's find someone to. I have to go to work after this, Elvin. Imagine my
Yeah, I gotta
pain.
like go to bed. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You know what? I do feel bad. I'm sorry you have to go to
Uh,
work. I really am, because I'm gonna go to bed.
Nah, I guess just gym presentation, then I'll just hide everything. That'll be the easiest way to do this. You like this 3D render of a gym that I stole online?
I
Like
do.
I couldn't find an actual like VTuber gym background. So like, god damn it, I had to make it myself. I hate this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bro's
All right,
just
we're gonna
showing his history and the stream. I can't, dude. Oh, it's not on. Okay, it's only streamed to me. Nice. I was free. I thought you just like.
yeah. I hate everything on OBS. Don't worry, everything's
Oh, okay,
all
all
right.
right. I thought you just raw went to Twitch on your
No,
own
that would be
like
bad.
overlay.
All right, we're gonna raid into. I raided like someone doing something similar, but
Yeah, let's take a look.
we're kind of the OGs here, aren't
Yeah,
we?
it's hard when you're in fitness and health because
Yeah.
let's see.
No, I don't know
Look
who you.
around. I'll
Why
look
can't I
around too.
mute you? Okay. I quickly took a look at health and fitness. There are no other VTubers in health and fitness. It would have been really funny
Yeah,
if
there
there
never
was.
are.
Yeah. All right, we're into Foofy. Foofy's doing
Uh,
science technology. That's kind of something, right? I don't know what that
yeah,
is.
I was gonna suggest that. That's like related.
Yeah.
We can go
Yeah,
there
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I want to thank everyone for
The
watching. I
boys
want
are
to thank everyone
coming
for
in.
lurking. Yeah. Alpin, are you doing anything this week that you would like to announce?
Oh, no, not really. In fact, I might be taking a break this week. Might take a little vacation week. I'm not sure yet,
Ooh.
though, but I'll announce that if so. But I
Yeah.
got nothing besides Discord Hangout. Oh, no, it's
Yeah.
Easter. So happy Easter,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
So I have
Happy
nothing
Easter,
for the rest of
everybody.
the week, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, the tier list has been saved. I will put it on the Discord and on Twitter. You guys will have access for sure.
Rad. And yeah, thank you for
I'm
coming, everyone. This has been awesome.
yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And for me, I'm just regular streams. Saturday night we're gonna do a bunch of Grand Theft Auto 5 GeoGuessr because someone showed me that the other day and I've been kind of hooked on it, and I'm
Yo,
really
that's
good
sick.
at it. I'm really good at it. I know Los Santos like the back of my hand.
Hell yeah.
All right.